Sick of the same old radio sound? Then you need vibrant radio. Spice up your life. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
Started as a dream, but I didn't think I'd get to the point where they say that I'm inspiring. I got people who look up to me, so I never break. Some try to stop me, but they're never on my face, so I keep going. Every obstacle I take, man, I run through these walls. There ain't nothing I can break, so trust me when I say I'm doing okay. Everything that I go through makes me the man I am today. I see jealousy. Don't want to see the end of me, but I smile in the face and say I'm so.
Very good afternoon to you. It's Dr. Anand in his English mode. आज मैं हिंदी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, उर्दू नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, पंजाबी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, जॉडी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I've got Kema K in the studio. Kema, hi, welcome.
How you doing?
Hi, who's made this record?
I made this record. I wrote.
It's your voice.
Yeah, that is my voice right
So
there.
who wrote the words?
I wrote the song.
So what are the words of the song?
The words of the song is it's all about being a positive vibe. You know, everything's all right.
Everything's okay. Just accept everything.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a Buddhist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's okay. Don't try to change it.
Yeah,
you're not God. You're just a little ant on a lump of mud called earth.
Yeah, that's it.
We all are full of ego, isn't it? I'll sort this out. No, there's no I.
Mm-hmm.
And in the English language, the only capital in the pronouns is I.
Mm-hmm.
We is small, you is small, he is small, she is small, it is small, but I.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, do you want to sing along?
Yeah, let's see where
Go on.
You turn the music a bit up. Yeah. Living life with no regrets. If you're afraid to chase your dream, I'll take the first step. If you really want to know what it's like to be me, or the reason that I'm moving, cause I'm filled with self-belief. You will never see me down, even get right back up, cause it's music that I breathe. So just watch as I make history, and all I want to know is who's with me. And this is
very important who we are with, isn't it?
I said.
Because don't we attract the people we need?
Mm-hmm.
If we need to feel bad, we attract people who make us feel bad.
Yep.
If we need to feel good, we attract that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's very subconscious, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 22 now.
22. Old enough to realize that. There'll be friends who every time they phone, your heart goes, ugh. And then there are people who phone, hey, how are you? And they perk you up.
Yeah.
And then when you're in trouble, certain people you phone.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't phone and say, I'm feeling bad. You say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
What you mean is, please listen to me.
That's very true.
So, you're not from the UK. You're black in color. So,
yes.
So where are you from?
I'm from a country called Zambia.
I know Zambia.
Yeah, that's where I was born.
My first father-in-law worked there in mathematics.
Oh, really? Wow.
And it's one of the sweetest countries in Africa.
Thank you very much.
Is that not true?
Yes, it is very true.
There's no kidding going on.
Nothing whatsoever.
There's no Idi Amin there.
Yeah, very quiet country.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Kenneth Kaunda, was he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So Kenneth Kaunda was the president when my father-in-law Punyapat Jha was there, and I heard only positive things.
Yeah,
no negativity, no badness, no nothing. Just quiet, gentle, getting on in life.
Yeah.
Is that why you are also a cool guy?
Possibly is, you know.
I think we pick up the vibes of where we come from, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Okay, so how did you land here?
What happened is I came to this country when I was 2 years old. So,
So you've been 20 years here?
Yeah, I've been here for 20 years now, which is a very, very, very long time. And
so your accent is just British?
Yeah, basically just British.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's quite a funny story because
tell us.
Because when I speak to other Zambians, because in my house we only speak English as well.
Yes.
So I've met other Zambians and they speak.
And they speak with
I'm like, sorry,
give us a Zambian accent. How does it sound?
I don't know. I can't give you the accent. That's what I mean. So
I can try to be like I'm from Delhi. It is not difficult. Me speaking no English. Okay, no. But then you're quite black, and your accent is quite white.
Yes.
And your music is international.
Yes.
You know. So what do you make of these people hanging on? Like, do you have any brothers and sisters who dress Zambian, talk Zambian, eat Zambian, breathe Zambian, sneeze Zambian?
To be honest, no, because I've got one brother who's he's probably more British than me, to be honest. He's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
He's got like the
proper.
Yeah, he's like
speaks like who's that black guy who reads the news? what's his name? I've forgotten. He always smiles when he says the Queen. The black man who's a newsreader. Very posh, extremely posh, you know. Okay. So tell us, your parents came here.
Yes.
Your grandparents are still in Zambia.
Yes.
So are they alive?
My grandma's actually passed away, but my granddad's still alive.
So have you been to Zambia?
No, I actually haven't.
You've never seen Zambia, apart from the age of 2?
Age of 2, that's it, to be honest. I've seen photos, and that's probably about it.
So your parents came for work, I take it?
My dad actually came here to become a student. And he finished university with a PhD.
In what?
In architect. He's actually an
architect.
And then,
where, in Newcastle?
Yeah, in Newcastle, local in Newcastle.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I'd love to interview him. Tell him, seriously.
Yeah, we'll
video all this and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've got the rottenest ADSL. I've moved house recently. So I've got the horriblest ADSL. It goes up at 174 kilobytes per second instead of megabytes that I used to have. Anyway, but somehow I'll shrink the file and put it up.
Great.
So your dad, your uncle, your granddad in Zambia, he can all see it on YouTube.
Yeah, great. That's
okay,
great. That's good.
They'll say, oh, that is my grandson, he's doing very well. I'm copying a Punjabi accent. Okay. So, and then dad went back and married, or did he marry here?
What happened is my mum came over as well, but due to personal issues, they split up, and my mum went back.
So mum's back in Zambia.
But what happened is we were meant to go back, but then my mum passed away when I was 14.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so your dad is your mum and dad?
Yeah.
So have you got a good relationship with him?
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with him. We're like
and your
best
brother?
of friends. With my brother, we don't speak as much because he's out the house, but we speak every
So he's
now and then.
moved out, but in Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle.
Okay. My boys have come back to live with me recently because I lost my mother.
Oh, sorry about
So I was, she was 89 and a half and she didn't want to live.
Yeah.
So she passed away, and then my elder son came to stay with me in the house, I meant, while I was in India taking her ashes for immersion in the Ganges. And then I said, why the hell do you want to go? Stay. And then the other son who's in Holland, I've got two sons now, and they're with me. So it's good fun. So you're with dad?
Yeah, with dad. Just me and dad.
Okay. Does that help you?
Yes, because I think it's made us closer because it's just the two of us, you know. Sometimes we have our arguments and...
you're like two mates.
Yeah, we're just...
What are the main things you argue about?
You know, it's silly things.
Stupid,
like,
where we put...
stuff like, did you eat my dinner? Or, you know, just silly things.
It sounds like the Three Bears.
Yeah.
I'll just pull your mic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, have you eaten? So you cook and he eats it up.
Yeah. Like
what a bad guy your dad is. What's his name?
Hector.
Hector.
Yeah.
I'll heckle you for eating your son's dinner. Shame. Do you ever eat his dinner?
Oh yeah, of course. I have to get him back. You know, it's the way it works. If you do that to me, I'm gonna do it back.
So he gets it back. It's called karma.
Yeah, that's what karma.
Karma. And K is your surname.
It's just actually my rap name. It's a funny.
Your rap name.
It's a funny way how it came about.
But Kema, and you said everyone calls you Kema.
Yeah.
Is it particularly the Indians and Pakistanis who eat meat, minced meat? Kema is minced meat.
I actually know. I've got a lot of Pakistani and Bengali friends as well, and they call me Kema for fun because when I've been in school, because the way it's actually spelt. Like say if
but you write Kema, K-E-M-A.
Yeah,
you don't write K-W-E-M-A.
I know. That's my.
Why
argument.
the hell do they make Kema out of you?
I know. That's my argument.
Out of you.
That's my argument with people.
Yes,
it's like
to
me, I can see it spells Kema, but everyone says Kema.
No,
but it would be two E's if it was Kema, right?
Well, next door is a lady called Kemi, K-E-M-Y. She's a beautician.
Oh yeah.
But English is a funny language. I write A-N-A-N-D and expect people to say Anand.
Yeah.
If I did really want that, I should have spelled A-A-N-A-N-D.
Yeah, thank you.
Anand. But then the D is not Anand. It's Ananda. So I should write A-A-N-A-N-T-H.
Yeah.
But then they say Anantha. But English is quite an odd language. It takes sounds from everywhere. So it's very difficult to... Okay. How did you get this name? Kema is the actual name.
Yeah, Kema is my actual
What's
name.
your surname?
Sekozwi.
Sekozwi.
Yes.
That sounds quite sexy. It sounds like some Russian spy. Kema Sekozwi, Vladivostok. I will get you. I'll take you to whatever, Vladivostok or whatever. So, and K, where did you pick that from?
I'll tell you the story how it happened. Because
K is a girl's first name.
Yes, it is, but it's also a boy's name as well. But the way it happened is...
Like Leslie.
Leslie, yeah.
Leslie with a Y is a girl's name,
yeah,
and I is a boy's name.
Yeah. Because the way it came about is when I was younger, when you're with your friends and you start a rap and you try to have cool names.
Yeah.
So my first actually name at first was Big K.
Big K.
Yes.
Well,
So,
were your classmates pygmies?
no, the
You're
word.
not particularly
You know,
tall.
I know that's what I'm saying.
You're as bad as me. For African, you're quite short.
Yes,
Man.
I know. So as I was maturing more, I found that people it was actually my uncle who made me think. Where he came, he was like, "You're big," because I hadn't seen him in a few years.
So uncle is also here.
No, he's in Harrogate.
Okay, but in the UK.
Yeah, UK. So I'd met him, and then he says, "Oh, I haven't seen you so many years." He's like, "I was expecting you to be either really fat or like 6 foot tall."
You're a little black shrimp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're an insult to my tribe.
Yeah.
Is he tall and
Yeah,
fat?
he's really tall. So
yeah, uncle.
So he was expecting me to be really tall. So that made me think. And as I was maturing, I thought, I can't be like coming up to my 20s, be calling myself Big K, because that's just gonna confuse people.
I also sound like Big Mac.
Yeah.
And already Kema. Imagine an Indian Kema put inside Big Mac. Okay.
Yeah. So and then what happened is then I changed. I took away the big and I was just K. But then what I found with that is when I was doing shows and things like that, if they never met me personally,
they think it's a white blonde girl.
Yes. No, I'm being serious. Maybe not the blogger, but the
I've got a Pakistani friend who's got a lovely beard. He looks like a Muslim Pakistani chap. He's quite bald.
Yeah.
Bit of a tash, but a massive beard. So when he's an English poet.
All right, yeah.
I mean, he's born in Pakistan, but he's an English poet. So when he goes to the poetry places, they send him to the kitchen. They think he's the caterer. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, you see.
And so when you walk in and they expect a dumb blonde, they're going to kiss and they see you.
I know. So I had so much trouble with that. And then as well with my music being online, when you typed in K, you can imagine the amount of things what came up with the name K, because it's such a common sort of name. And then I was doing a show and one of the promoters I was actually with, he was like, it would be better if you called your first name. But I didn't really want to lose the K because it's like,
because you have had it for a long time.
Yeah. And like
big or small and K.
Yeah. And then if I just had Kema, like it didn't have a nice twist. Like for example, you have artists like Tiny Temper or Dizzy Rascal. Like
the two parts match. Yeah. They have to be in rhythm.
Yeah, in rhythm.
Kema
so like Kema K. Yeah. So I like that.
Kema K. Kema K. It sounds like a slogan,
Yeah. So then I was like, let's stick with that Kema K, and then
sounds alright, like.
Yeah, thanks. And then so now when you type my name in anywhere, like there's
so you type Kema K, K-E-M-A-K-A-Y.
Yes, and
Kema
it comes
K.
up. And you type it in Google, my name.
Zumba, Kema K. Okay, let's listen to your track number 2.
I can't give you much, no. I can't promise you the world, no. But I do what I can to make you smile. I swear one day I'll get a sign, because I'm up every morning in the studio recording, trying to come.
Yeah, you were saying that you enjoy an interview like this.
Yes.
Because it's what? Spontaneous.
Yes, it's uplifting. It's uplifting.
But we are chatting like two friends, you know.
And that's what I like. I really like.
Yeah. So have you been to other interviews?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few. I've actually been in this room before. The interview was
Don't give the name of the interviewer.
Okay.
By saying I'm uplifting, then the other one wasn't, so we shall not mention. Okay. It was Arvi Narang, was it?
Yeah, no, I like that guy. That guy's a great guy. He supported me for years.
Yeah, he's one of the rare musicians who doesn't compete with others, he supports.
Yeah, I know.
Arvi, I know. I have a lot of time for Arvi. I've known him as a young kid, and I was his doctor at one time as well. So
he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Okay, so we were not coming to music yet. You were 2 years old, and you came to which city first?
Newcastle. I've been
straight away. So this is where Dad was doing architecture.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mum came as well.
Yeah.
And things didn't work out. And then how long was Mum here with Dad and you?
She was here until I was about 7, 8 years old.
Okay, so but just difficult times. I mean, my children have been through the same thing. It is very difficult to come from one culture and go to a completely different culture, because whether it's Africa or India or Arabia or China, the families are very strong. So even if there's tension between the husband and wife, they stick it out. They don't make a fuss. They don't have violence. There's nothing. But here there is no stopping. And also I find that women have, particularly women, because women are suppressed all over the world, everywhere, including Britain. So when they come to a country where they're a bit more free, then they take out on the poor husband what the great-grandmother didn't take out on the great-grandfather. So there's a tribal anger. I've studied this quite a bit. So even if the man is not wrong, I mean, who's perfect? Even if the man is not wrong, still there's that anger, and there are societies here that encourage that. Marriage is not such a big deal anymore. 60% breakup.
That's very true.
So, you know, go with the flow. I've had 2 divorces. So I know, don't worry. Okay. So which school did you go to as a baby?
I went to Moorside. It's just actually not far from me. I went to Moorside School.
And what are your friends called? Do you remember any of them?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm still friends with all my primary school friends.
Tell me who they are.
Yeah, I've got one of my best friends is Shafi Islam.
Shafi Islam?
Yeah.
Obviously Muslim.
Yeah, Muslim, yeah.
So, where is he now?
He's actually, he only lives down like not far from me.
So
still in contact
Hi
with him.
Shafi. And one day you have to bring all your friends in.
Yeah, I should. I really
another day
should.
Bring your musician friends in.
Yeah, well, Shafi's actually a musician as well.
What's he do?
He sings as well. He's a very, very good singer.
Oh, Shafi, if you're listening, 2739888. Does he know you're here?
Yeah, he does. Oh,
Shafi, come on. Is he listening?
He will. He probably will.
Shafi, you can do that, or you can even come on Skype, doc.anand, DOC, full stop, ANAND. So Skype is live. You can come on. Oh, I'll walk into the studio. How far does he live from you?
It's just in Elzik.
Well, walk down, Shafi. We still have an hour and 40 minutes.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, he'll be very, very welcome. So, Shafi, you're welcome.
Okay.
So, he's a singer.
Down. Yeah,
he sings Western music.
Western music, yeah.
I thought being Pakistani, he would sing origin here. He would sing Qawwali or something.
Yeah. He sings all different styles. You know, he can sing all different.
Wow, really it'd be nice to know, because you know I myself play the flute.
Oh yeah.
The straight one. I play the harmonium a little bit. I play the Hawaiian guitar, and I join anything. I play the duff. I used to learn tabla. I had a music organization in my house called Gurukul, and I had an Indian music teacher live in my house.
Wow.
For 10 years off and on. Before that, I started in 1992, the Asian Artist Network. It still survives. Others run it. So I started with film music.
Yeah.
Then I went up to classical music.
Yeah.
And all the friends walked away. They couldn't stand the discipline of practicing and paying.
Well, that's what it is. You know, if you want to be great at something, you
have to put yourself into it. So now we have a music teacher called Vijay Rajput, Dr. Vijay Rajput. I kind of imported him, got him work permit and all. Now he's a British citizen.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the biggest achievements I have, to bring the music here, but not just to listen to, actually learn from. And I have a lot of regard for music, any music. I do school workshops. And I say to children, how many notes are there in Western music? They say 8, but it's actually 7. The 8th one is the same note. In Indian music, 7. In China, there's 7. Red Indian music, there's 7. Why? There has to be something about it.
There is, yeah, it's true.
Language is so different. Alphabet is, I'll write in Hindi, you won't understand. But if I sing a song, Mera juta hai Japani, ye patloon, is it a happy or a sad song?
That sounds like a happy song to me, yeah.
Sadha pa magare sa re sa re ga.
That's a sad song.
Straight away
you catch it straight away. Yeah.
Why?
Because
humans are the same.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the beauty. I mean, if you look at ancient Indian wisdom, they look at the 7 colors, the 7 days, the 7 notes, and the 7 chakras in the body. And they understood this long time. But then Western technology came and said, all that is rubbish. And now Western technology is getting subtle enough to realize those things, like radiation. I mean, if you're happy and sit next to me in the plane, I'll smile. If you're miserable, you're crying, I'll pick it up straight away.
Yeah, pick up vibes. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
And I find that children are cleverer at it. You know, on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
What are you on Facebook? Tell us.
Kema K, just Kema K.
K-E-M-A, one word.
Yeah.
K-E-M-A-K-A-Y. Kema K. Kema K.
Yeah.
Okay, Kema K. Okay, Kema K. All right. So you got Shafi. Any other friends?
Yes, I've got Clive Nembahad.
Clive
Nembahad.
Clive Nembahad. Is he a musician too?
He used to be, but he stopped.
He deviated.
Yeah, he stopped after a while.
Did he become boring or what?
Yeah, it's just, do you know, like because we all grew up together, do music together, and as you grow older, you realise that maybe that's not what you want to do. So
you do it to keep the crowd happy.
Yeah.
The gang is okay.
Yeah, the gang is okay. We're all still friends.
But you're still friends.
Yeah, still friends.
So when you do gigs, do they come?
Yeah, they do. They actually, sometimes I've done a gig in, when was it? in March time where I supported an artist from London called Sneakbo at the O2 Academy.
It's very nice to hear,
Yeah, and they came down and they helped with the filming and whatever I needed, they were there helping. So we're still very close friends, which is good.
Okay. All right. So that's 3 of them. Any more?
Yeah, I've got Marcio. He lives in Elzik as well. Who else have I got? I've got Senai. I've got there's quite a few. There's quite a few to.
You've got a lot. You're a very social animal.
Yeah, very social. But the good thing is we're all. It's like not friends. We're like brothers, you know.
Yeah. You're
really
one for all for one, like 3 musketeers.
Yeah. So it's really good. Yeah.
What do you think of the Elzik pool getting closed?
Do you know what? I think that's it's not really a good thing because that was a place for the kids, you know. So I know.
So why don't you make a song about it? Seriously.
Make a song about not shutting it down.
Not shutting down, and I'll play it on all my shows.
Do you know what? That's actually.
I love
not a bad
to
idea,
link you to Deepu Ahad and all these guys who are against it.
It's not good because
it's not good. I mean, it's the poorest ward in Newcastle, and you're taking away the little that they have.
Exactly.
It's like stealing from poor people.
Exactly. What I just want to say about that is because I used to go to a youth project in Sanup Street. I don't know if you've heard of it, Chat Shop.
No, I don't know Chat Shop. Tell me more.
Well, so that helped because I used to live. I grew up in the West End before I moved to Gosforth. And
you live in Gosforth now?
Yeah, I live in Gosforth.
Where?
Now. And
what street?
It's Forden. It's like North Gosforth.
I know, man.
Every time, do you know what? Every time I say Forden to people, everyone's like, I don't know where that is. So I just say Gosforth.
No, it's like telling Indians I live in Newcastle. They don't understand. So I say London.
Yeah.
And every time I explain something about India to people, I say Patna. They don't understand. So I say Delhi. So where are you from? Delhi.
Yeah.
And to Indians, where do you live? London.
Yeah.
Why confuse them? Newcastle upon
Tyne.
No, I was a GP from 1st of February 1983 until 4 years ago in 18 Elmfield Road, Gosford.
Oh, right.
So I know Forden like the back of my hand.
Oh, that's great. That's really good then.
Yes, I know Forden extremely well. Great. I know Kenton very well. I know South Gosford very well. I lived on top of my premises.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And if you told me that first, I thought your accent came from Gosforth, you know. But you know what they say about Gosforth? Fur coat and knickers. All right. So you went to the primary school and you had lots of friends. Then where did you go to middle school?
And then I went to Westgate before it was shut down. And
was it very violent then?
Oh my God!
It was terrible.
It was very, very.
Did you meet any racism?
Yes,
like a black guy.
I grew up with racism.
Tell me, what did they would call you names?
Yeah, because the way it was is when I was growing up, in the area I was in, there wasn't many black people, so it was just full of...
so there were Asians?
There were Asians.
Pakistanis, few Indians, Bengalis, but not black.
Not black. I've actually never really met any black friends until I was probably maybe about 15. 16.
So at 15 you realized you were black?
Yes.
otherwise you were colorblind.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
So I faced that.
How did you feel seeing someone who looked a bit like you? It's like Mowgli, isn't it?
Well, like
Mowgli suddenly meets you and me and says, hey, I'm a bit like them.
Well, it was just shocking to see, you know, because I just thought like Newcastle was a place where there wasn't many, you know, and there wasn't at the time.
There weren't.
Because even when I was in nursery, I was the only black child in the whole.
When you say black, we don't mean Asian.
Yeah, we mean
you mean actual black, African black.
African black. Yeah.
Because we say black minority, I think it's an American term.
Yeah.
And it just means non-white. Actually, it's quite a racist term.
It is.
It's you're black. No, I'm from my country of origin is such and such. But you could be from West Indies. You could be from America. You could be from China.
Exactly.
You know? And this melanin has taken a long time growing.
Yeah.
And it will take a long time to go out. Yes. And the shape of the nose all depends on the equator.
Exactly.
If you're living in the north and you've got open nares, you'll catch pneumonia all the time. So it's all to do with Mother Nature. We all came from Tanganyika, you know. Do you know that Lake Tanganyika?
I actually didn't know that.
No, we all came from the same place. Yeah. This was proven by an American woman and her white woman, of course. And her uncle and aunties took her off the Christmas list.
Yeah.
because
she proved
black guys and we are the same. No, that cannot be. All right. So in what ways did you meet racism? What is the worst experience you had?
Well, it was just like, you know, every day. Like I think they weren't used to obviously seen a lot of like black people in school, and because
they got used to the Pakistanis, Indians,
they got
Bangladeshis.
used to it. But I think because like with the area is and they're quite ignorant. There was a lot of
But there's lack of education to start with.
Yeah,
they're not all PhD in nuclear physics.
Yeah. So I mean, I think.
And they haven't travelled much.
Yeah. And I think that the biggest.
Where have they gone is Costa del Sol. They haven't gone to China. They haven't seen the Great Wall. Exactly. They haven't been to India. They haven't been to Africa. Yeah.
So I think the issue was like they didn't have enough knowledge to like how, because to me I was told that oh, you came to this country, you steal our jobs. You know the usual what you probably get.
Nobody steals your jobs. Any jobs you're too lazy or too idiotic.
I know, so
we take only the crap jobs.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think it was a lack of education. Which why
did they call you nigger or something?
Yeah. Those.
Did they hit you?
Like I've been through a few bros.
But did you have any particular gang of bullies who troubled you?
Like it was just mostly the chavs, to be honest. You know the chavs.
They're still chavs today.
Yeah, you don't see them as much, but back then they were
so being a chav is out of fashion, is it?
I think every now and then you see some, but it is out of fashion.
Chavishness. So how do you identify a chav? How do you make out a chav?
Berghaus coat, maybe a Lacoste hat. I don't know, like drinking on the streets with you know the what do you call these cheap drinks everyone used to buy. I can't remember what they were called, but yeah, you'll notice them straight away.
They all have satellite as well.
Yep.
Okay, it's time for a little break, and then we'll carry on.
Yeah. She likes me. She knows I ain't looking for a wifey, but she sticks around. I got what she needs, and she's looking good in her side cheeks. I'm a bad boy, and she knows that. Maybe that's the reason she coming back. I tell her straight to the.
Hey man, that's really sexy.
Thank you.
Doom. Okay. Are you a good dancer?
Do you know what? No. I'm actually not.
You're very strange. You're as strange as me. I'm not that bothered about cricket.
Yeah.
Though I'm Indian. I only had a Mercedes a few years ago. Though I'm Indian, I interview English people. Though I'm Indian, I'm mixed with Muslims. Though I'm Hindu. Because it is true, you know, the one sentence, if you want to grow in life, mix with people of a different age, different color, different religion, different country. Otherwise, you don't grow.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want to remain a stick in the mud, stick with your own religion, own people, own family, own country, own height, I mean, it's true, isn't it?
It's very,
because you're
very
not
true.
stretched, you're not challenged. So, you know, I like Indian classical music and but why shouldn't I listen to other people's?
Exactly, yeah.
Why should I not? I mean, I've got my dad and mom, but uncles are all right too. I mean, okay. So, do you see your uncle much? Your uncle in...
no, it's just, you know, Christmas times, sometimes holiday.
So, do you go with dad?
Yeah, just go with my dad.
So, real chums with dad?
Yeah, real good friends.
Don't your friends call you a wuss? I mean, what do you mean staying with your dad? Don't they say anything?
Sometimes they're like, oh, come on, you can't be with your dad all the time.
Why not?
You know what, we're best of friends.
What's wrong? See, England is a funny country. If you do good in maths, you're a nerd. In India, they say, what? Only 94%? Shame on you. The next door boy has got 96%. So any quality is enhanced. Here, it's cool to be nobody.
Yes.
It's cool to be average. No, it's not.
It's not.
I want to be different. I want to be the best. I want to be the worst. Why should I be like everybody else?
Thank you. Yeah, I like that. That's so true.
You know, that brings me to the topic of you are on the mailing list of Bessie.
Bessie, yes.
So tell me about Bessie. How did you find Bessie? How did Bessie find you?
Well, as the one who found Bessie, what it was is one of my friends was signed up to the site.
What's his name?
His name's Josh Kanda.
Josh Kanda. What does he do?
I haven't spoken to him in a while now, so I really don't know what he's doing up to now.
No, with Bessie, I mean.
Oh, Bessie, he was just doing extra work with Bessie.
Okay, so I've done a bit as well, you know.
Yeah, have you? Oh.
I've acted in a Bengali movie, though I'm not a Bengali. I told you I just go any place I'm not wanted.
Yeah.
So I just, my friend Zafar Bhatti, I'm surprised he hasn't rung. Zafar, where are you? Zafar is a nice, sweet guy who just said, Doctor, they are filming Indian movie and you don't even know. I said, give me the phone number. So I took the mobile number of the director, went home, put on Indian clothes. Very smart, not just Indian, like film.
Like really smart, yeah.
And in your face, kind of.
Yeah.
I went there and said, I'm on radio, I'd like to interview you. I didn't say I want to be in the film. It's like wooing a girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to interview you. They said, oh, that's all right, but are you free this evening? I said, might be. Let me check my phone. Of course, I was bloody free.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a bit of a slot between 7 and 10. But 6:30, could you come so and so? I said, okay, I'll change my appointment. I didn't have an appointment. And I went there, then I played the flute, and then I got a part.
Oh, wow.
And then I did a role on the high-level bridge. Where I was supposed to be committing suicide.
All right.
So I went there and I got tears in my eyes. So the director says, are you all right? I said, I'm only acting, you know.
Honestly.
It's absolutely true.
Wow.
And it's thanks to Bessie because I met Nisha, Bessie's daughter who does the sets.
All right, yeah.
And that's how, and I've done a few bits and pieces, you know.
Yeah, wow, yes, it's really great, I think, what
But
Bessie
it brings out the best in you, or the
really
worst in you.
does.
You know, instead of feeling frustrated about something, if you act, you're getting it out.
And it helps you grow, you know, because
and you know, people like us who are not white are needed because you're representing. I mean, if you go there, you still represent me because you're not white. And if I go there, I'm representing you. I represent the Muslims. I represent the Bengalis because I'm not white, church-going, perfect, good, nice Christian, Sunday school type. So it is good. Okay. So music-wise, how is your musical influence? Where did you learn? I mean, where did your musicality come from? Is dad into music? Mom was in music? Why?
My mom used to sing a lot. So yeah, she used to sing when I was younger and stuff. And when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Eminem.
So do you remember any song that mom liked? I mean, we want to dedicate something to her. What would you?
To be honest, I really couldn't tell you. Like it was.
So you were only 7 when she went?
Yeah, I was quite young. I was quite young.
Were they African songs?
Yeah, some African songs. Actually, she used to like ABBA as well. She used to sing a lot of ABBA as well. So
ABBA.
Yeah. Or if you've got any of that.
The Swedish gang. ABBA. Here goes ABBA.
We're here in Dover waiting for Eric Cantona, who's swimming the channel because he believes...
We don't want the ad, do we? Isn't that fitting tribute to your mother? What's your mother's name?
Dorothy.
Dorothy. Hello, Dorothy. Wherever you are, this is to you. It's ABBA with a B written the wrong way around. Yes. Even I know this song.
Yeah.
So did your parents go to English schools back in Zambia?
No, they've actually just, because the way it is in my country, you have to learn English because you have a better chance of, like, you know, getting better opportunities.
You said my country. Which is your country?
Zambia.
So what are you doing in Britain?
What am I doing? Good question.
So where do you feel you are, where you belong?
Do you know what? I really don't know.
You haven't a clue?
Because I'll tell you the way it is, because I've met, I have got other, like, black friends and stuff, but it's like I can't really relate to them as much as I'd want to. Do you know what I mean? So,
you know, shall I tell you the opposite? I used to teach medical students and get to know them. You know my personality. I get to know people intimately as a GP particularly. So this boy, he was brought up in Africa, South Africa, and his parents were super busy and fighting all the time. He was actually nursed by a black woman. So he had the breast milk of a black woman. So he says, you know, doc, when I come to England and I see a black person, I feel like running to them and talking to them.
Yeah.
I feel like a stranger. He's totally white with red hair. But it's like that, isn't it? For you as well. It's what you're comfortable with.
Like, yeah, like, to be honest, I'm comfortable with anyone, you know, but it's just, it has been quite tough sometimes where, like, I can't relate to say my own, like, people or whatever. And then
so what would happen if you went to work in Zambia?
I would struggle. Do you know what? My dad I had this chat with my dad because of my vocabulary. Do you know, like, sometimes I would say, if I say something, I say, oh, do you understand what I mean? By saying, do you understand what I mean? If I said that to someone in Zambia, they'll think I'm being disrespectful. And saying, oh, why?
Do you think I'm stupid?
Like that. So.
And same in India.
Yeah,
I can't say to my father. I mean, my father was a very, very noble, gentle guy. He wouldn't say anything to anybody. But generally, what do you mean? I've given birth to you, you know more than me. What? Get out of the house.
Yeah, so that's why I wouldn't survive. So.
Okay. Okay. So would they call you a coconut?
Yeah. Do you know what?
Dark brown on the outside and white on the inside.
Yes, basically, that's what it is.
All right. Well, we all bits of coconuts, you know. We all have bits of every culture. if anyone wants to be that pure, then go and live in a repressive regime. When the Chinese come here, Muslims come here, Hindus come here, Jews come here, why? Because there's freedom. There's freedom to breathe, to live, to speak. Unless you're hurting someone purposely, nobody bothers. I mean, the kind of chat we are having, I couldn't have this chat in Zambia, even, which is a nice country, and definitely not in Nigeria.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
You know what I mean? Anything to do with, even America, they're super sensitive.
Very true.
My younger son, Praz, went to Abu Dhabi, and he phones me, Dad. I said, yes, Praz. This girl got very offended with me. I said, what? I didn't say anything to her, and she said, I'll call the police. I said, and? He said, if I don't phone you in 5 days, ring the foreign office. I rang my brother. He was in Abu Dhabi. My brother went 75 miles by his car. He got a driver, drove all the way, picked him up, flew him back here.
Wow.
Because, in a tough Muslim country, or a tough communist country, or a tough Hindu country, it doesn't matter which tough it is, or Vatican, it doesn't matter which. If you're very strong about your religion or your values, others can't do anything. Whereas here, nobody minds, And I think to a large extent, we all grow from it. Don't you?
Yes, very true.
You become a musician. Maybe in Zambia they will say, what are you doing music for?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm copying a Delhi accent. You will be a father architect, you have to be a dentist.
Doctor,
at least dentist, at least. Or even a vet.
Yeah,
be a donkey doctor, but be a doctor.
Very true.
So all that pressure isn't here. And okay, children may often take a year out, do this, do that, but ultimately they reach where their heart is. I have a friend called Shankar Kashyap. His two daughters went to medical school together. After 3 years, the older one decided not to do medicine, didn't tell her father, applied for dentistry, got in, told her father. Father says, fine. I had a chap here called GB Gopalan. He's in India at the minute. His daughter is only 10, 11. She's a fantastic, beautiful dancer. When she dances, you think you're looking at a goddess. And otherwise, you see a bespectacled little girl. But absolutely marvelous. In the interview, she said, I said, will you marry? She said, never. I said, why? She said, I want to follow dance. So she's totally focused.
Yeah.
My own mother, when she was 14, she wrote 16 short stories. And I asked her in an interview, my own mother, my late mother, who was sitting on that chair, I said, then if you're such a good author at 16, 15, why the hell did you marry? Asking my own mother. I couldn't ask this in India.
Yeah, you could.
She said, because I couldn't tell your grandfather, her father, I want to be an author. She just couldn't tell him. He knew that she was doing this, but he naturally presumed. If she had said, no, I will not marry, my grandfather would have let her not marry. But she didn't have that freedom.
Yeah, that freedom. Yeah. And I understand that because it was the same with my dad. Like my grandfather, like he was all about education, be this, be that. So,
but it's not just education. Do something that makes me proud of you.
Yeah.
And if you become a musician, I won't be proud of you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So my dad, like the way he was brought up, he told himself he's not going to bring me up like that, and he's told me that. Do you understand what I mean?
Very nice. Yeah. It's like child abuse.
Yeah.
Some parents who have been child abused do not abuse their children.
Yeah. So
they don't pass it down the genes.
Yeah.
And especially in Britain, even if you don't work, for argument's sake, if you did no work whatsoever, you still not die of hunger. And if you're a doctor, so what? If you're a dentist, so what? In this country, there's so much freedom. Whatever you are, you're okay. I mean, if you're a truck driver, doesn't mean I don't talk to you. Exactly. If you're a taxi driver, I hope I've got no problems like that anyway. But England is where I'm comfortable. In India, I would be put on a pedestal. Don't pick up the water, Dr. Anand. The servant will bring it. But the water is 2 yards from me. The servant is 50 yards from me. All those value systems, exactly the same as Zambia, I guess.
Yes.
If in poor years at Zambia, people tell you off. Come here.
Yeah.
Nobody does that here. The cleaning lady comes, call her cleaning lady. You don't call her a skivvy. If someone's on the dole, you don't say you beggar. In India, they would. You would say, oh, you're on tax credit and this credit and that credit. Okay. What's your favorite musician? Your favorite musician?
I have so many. I would say, my influences, I would say people like Tiny Temper. Eminem. Who else? I quite like Ed Sheeran as well. He's an amazing singer.
Alan Shearer?
Ed Sheeran,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Eminem. How do you write Eminem in YouTube?
That's Emine. Eminem.
When I'm Gone, would that be?
Yeah, I like that song. That used to be one of my favorite songs, actually.
First time I came here, it's been a rough 6 years. And I'm just happy to not be that person anymore. And so's my wife.
Are we watching Eminem or is that Alcoholics
No,
Anonymous?
that's the right one. It's
It is
just
it?
that's the intro. Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a part where he gets up to tell his story. And then
That's a third of a billion people have watched that, you know.
Yeah.
316 million.
it's a lot.
Well, that's why it's on the top of the billing.
Is there anyone else who would like to share with us tonight?
Is that Alcoholics Anonymous?
Is that sorry? What?
Is that Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yeah, yeah. Well, could be.
But they all look like
They do.
unhappy.
It's about sharing problems, and then
Okay.
that's when he comes in and tells his story.
Okay. So Eminem touched you, and who else was good for you?
People like Tiny Temper, 'cause I liked his story. Tiny Temper, it's Tiny, and then Temper is spelled Tempah.
Oh. So Tiny Tempa. Okay. So, and then would you say you formed your own style?
Yeah. Then through just listening to different artists, you eventually find yourself. Like when I first started music, I started the route of trying to copy to be another
Yeah,
artist.
of course.
But then naturally you end up finding yourself in your own style.
Well, in ancient India, you went to a guru, a teacher, whatever your archery, music, dance, mathematics, astrology, astronomy, whatever your field was. They would teach you from the age of, say, about 10 to 20, and then say, now, forget all I taught you. You're on your own, you find yourself.
Wow.
The same idea, because ultimately we have to become ourselves. It's called self-actualization. You find you. I mean, I like a lot of people who interview. There's a chap called Amin Sayan, he's 86 and still alive. His Hindi was very poor because he mixed it with English and Gujarati, so he never got a proper job. But he was the most popular musician, presenter in India, Pakistan.
Yeah. Wow.
He used to make the shows in Mumbai, and from Sri Lanka it used to be broadcast because the Indian government didn't believe in film music. They were so up their own backsides, and he became famous. So this is Tiny Temper.
Me back in college, now I got it like that. Could have gotten sidetracked, now I'm back on my feet. If I hadn't achieved, would you pack up and leave? Now you're scratching on me like we're Adam and Eve. Nigga remix to ignition in the back of the Jeep.
So you like that kind of tempo?
I love good vibe. It's got a good vibe to it.
But it's happy.
Yeah.
It's not just slow romance or anger or jealousy. So it's happy, and it's rhythmic. So it goes chicka 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 chicka. It doesn't matter which instrument. Smiling all the time, because we don't smile enough, do we?
We don't, and I think we should smile more often.
We should talk to each other more. But people have got the ears plugged with those white things, and they bump themselves into poles. I mean, English become very animated when they're talking to someone they love on their phone. So you'll see in the middle of the street, nobody else there, and the guy's going at it. He's on a pedestrian crossing. So I see a lot of that. So they are a lot of people are very lonely. I'm not saying all English people are like that, but that is the culture, seen and not heard, Too disciplined, stand in a queue. Why can't you break the queue sometimes and say, what little baby who wants to go for a pee, can you give me a lollipop first? We don't do that. We just quietly suffer, and inside you're getting depressed. Okay. So what do you make of the welfare state? What do you think?
I think it's great. It's good, yeah.
What do you think about immigration?
I think there's a lot of people who were like illegal immigrants who've made it harder for the people who generally come here and want a better life. So
whether you're an economic migrant or someone seeking asylum, it makes it hard for the genuine ones, because the fake ones.
The fake ones make it harder for the genuine people who actually.
So they spoil it for all.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
And then there's no room for maneuver because the rules have tightened up.
Very true.
What do you think of the education system in Britain?
Honestly, I think the education system that should work more on developing people, because there was actually a picture I saw on Facebook where it was there was a circle, the pathway to come through, and then on the other side there was a triangle shape, and then there was a square shape. So then the circle shape was saying, come through by being yourself. But then but there was
had to go through a triangle.
and it wouldn't work
So
like
they
that.
come out the wrong
so,
shapes.
So I think there's different ways people learn certain ways, and I think with school there's just like a set way like
Of teaching.
set way of teaching where.
So
this
teaching
how,
is something oppressive and passive.
Yeah.
I'm your teacher. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Whereas learning is how can I help Josh? How can I help Kema? How can I help John? How can I help Shirley? Which are all different people.
Yeah.
So is it become more commercialized?
I think
Like
yeah,
numbers game.
Yeah, that's what it is. And like, I'm not saying that take away school, because you do need an education. You need to know the basics. But I think like school should work on more developing people rather than just like
a human.
this way. Yeah, person. Because I felt like when I left school, like I found myself more in what I wanted to do and you know my talents and I felt.
So who kept your spirit alive?
Spirit alive. Do you know what? Like everyone asks me, I would say like, because I'm a Christian, and I pray a lot. I'll just say God. To be honest,
How often do you pray?
Do you know? I probably pray every night before I go to sleep.
And gives you a decent sleep.
Yeah, it does, and that's what's kept my spirit alive because.
So your faith has kept you.
Yeah, and that's all it is. And I think with what I want to do, it's only faith what keeps you going. And I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. So say
that we often don't understand ourselves.
Exactly. Like some people might think, if you didn't get this part, or if you
that's the end of the world.
Yes, the end of the world. But it's not, because if you went for that part, that could have not been your direction.
Your chosen path.
There's always something better coming. That's what I always believe.
So you're an optimist.
Yeah.
You have faith in yourself.
Yes.
Because if you have faith in God, the Maker, whoever it is, doesn't matter which religion. It just does not matter.
Yeah.
If you have faith in someone.
Yeah.
Who is higher than you. That's all it needs.
That's all it needs.
Because then you get rid of your ego.
Yeah.
You don't think, I did this, I lost, I'm responsible, that I goes away.
Very true.
Okay. And what's your favorite then food-wise? What do you eat?
Food. You know, I love Nando's.
You're a Nando's person.
Do you know? Nando's. half the chicken and chips will do me.
Will do you for life.
Yeah.
So you could be working in Nando's.
Yeah, I could. I could, but I think I'll be stealing all the food.
Okay. And tell me one thing more about Nando's. If you worked in Nando's, is that all you'd eat?
Do you know? That's all I would eat. Like,
because it's not very spicy unless you add some sauce.
Yeah. And it's weird. Do you know, sometimes when you get those foods, if you constantly eat it, then you get sick of it.
You don't.
But for some reason with Nando's, I really can't get sick of Nando's.
You're a Nando's person.
Yes, definitely. I love Nando's.
Make a rap about Nando's.
I really should.
Make a rap about the Elzik swimming pool. One about Nando's, one about spice, if you like. It'll be nice, I know.
It would.
But some inspiration. How do you get inspiration then?
Do you know what? Life in general inspires me, and like I can create a song from a story by myself, or I could look at someone else's life and create a story from that, you know. And when I write, I try not to make things very direct. I try to make it where it could be taken this way, it could be taken that way.
Yes. Well, that's what an artist is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the Angel of the North. People die for it. I think it's ugly, rusty, makes the Geordies look stupid. I really believe that. But the only good thing is it's not as big as I had thought it might be.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gomley has really taken $1 million out of here for creating his own body. No, that's my very strong view. And yet there are people who say it's marvelous, it's public art and so on.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, what do you think of the Sage building?
I think it's
3 halls.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah,
it looks like a snail.
It does. Yes. That sounds so true.
I can see it walking across to the onion. Oh, sorry, what's it called? The other building. The Baltic Sage and onion, you know. Wank, wank, wank. Imagine at the night it's crawling towards it.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But it's an icon for the whole world to see. The angel, whatever I might say about it. In India, we have statues of gods. And here it's like a god. We all need this big thing. But I wished, I'm very traditionalist. I wish it looked like Jesus in Brazil, you know, that arm statue.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Between the two, I would rather go for Jesus. Somebody written a poem about I didn't want to gone. Look up a poem, you know, there's a poem on the angel of someone says, if the angels look like that, I didn't want to gone. It's like a Geordie poem.
A Geordie poem.
Aye. Okay. So, you're not studying now?
Nope.
So, you finished school at what age?
I finished school when I was 19, college. I finished school. And I had a choice where it was either go to university because I had the right grades and things like that. And then I sat down with my dad. And then he said to me, he's like, what do you want to do? He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I will support you in whatever you want to do.
Hector, you're a great guy.
So he told me.
The word Hector means to almost bully people.
Does it? Oh, I didn't know that.
He was hectoring me.
Yeah.
Look it up on the dictionary.
Wow.
But your dad is completely opposite.
Yeah, so he is like.
So what makes him such a wise man?
Do you know what? I just think.
Where does he get his gentle, feminine side?
Yeah,
soft
I think it's. I don't know. I really.
Does he pray a lot as well?
Yeah, he prays a lot. And
so that keeps him calm,
yeah,
relaxed,
and
friendly.
like he's seen, like, because we've been through a lot as a family,
like
and,
two mates.
Yeah, and like with the way he was brought up, like he's always told me that he respects the way he was brought up, because like he wouldn't actually be in the UK if it wasn't for the way
the strict discipline he came with.
Yeah, if he wasn't. But he did say that he doesn't want me to just
have
like have that where it's like, go be a doctor, go do this.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because with me, I have a problem. Like I can't do something I don't enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, I'm gonna fail at it. Like if I don't enjoy maths, like I'm not very good at maths, to be honest. Because I didn't enjoy it, so I only do good at things I really enjoy.
So either you do brilliantly in what you enjoy, or you're miserable in what you don't.
Yeah. So he's always told me that as long as I'm working hard, and it's not in a case of like just lays around, do nothing. As long as I'm really working hard,
at it, whatever you're at it is.
Yeah, he's going to support me in it, and that's what he told me. So I thought, you know what, like I've got the grades to go to university, and the experience and things I need. So, let me just go chase my dream and see what I can make of myself. And then if it doesn't work out, I can always
you have the grades to go back.
I've got everything to go back. So,
if you had to go to university, what would you study? If you had to,
it was, well, do you know what? It was actually my teacher who put me off university, because I was doing music production and live performance in college, Gateshead College.
Oh, Gateshead, okay.
Yeah, and the course is called Music Production and Live Performance.
Music production and live performance.
Yeah. So what happened is every term would do a live performance, but they took that away, and that was my favorite part.
That was my
favorite part.
Yeah.
So then after I was like, why did you take that away? And they said, well, people might be uncomfortable performing. And I said,
what the hell are you?
Why are you joining?
I was going to use a four-letter word. Listen, I'll tell you something exactly. This is very British.
Yeah.
I, being Indian and brown and small, 5'6", went to Whitley Bay. Somebody recommended a speakers club. Okay, I went there, and immediately they liked me because I'm friends with anyone. They said, "Are you Pakistani?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm Indian." Same thing. But they didn't expect that. They thought I'd be, "Oh, I'm not Pakistani. How dare you say that?" Don't have all that aggro, And I became the vice president of it.
Oh wow.
I won a prize somewhere. I went to give a speech, and they said, they have. You walk into the room and they give you a topic. So I walked into this room in Railway Institute in Yorkshire, and they said, talk about the Great British Weather. I said, the Great British Weather is as great as the Great British Empire, which does not exist.
Yeah.
So straight away I had them by the short and curlies. And I like that. Now, my mother was quite poorly, and I stopped going. Now they're saying, please come back. And I think you should go to develop yourself. Because if I'm going there, I'm more comfortable, I'm less concerned what I look like, am I being expressive? And yet, I'm not berating anyone. There are people there who have been there 35 years and they can't do a spontaneous speech. They have to write it down, because they don't believe they can do it.
Don't believe they can do it, yeah.
So people like your father, people like myself, I believe, let people make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, how will you know which is the
how will you know which is the right way? Exactly.
No, you can't make mistakes. If you can't make mistakes, you'll never do anything in life.
Exactly.
I mean, I very strongly believe that whether it's your music or whether it's the food, just test it and see. I mean, if I never sat with gay people, I'm from India, from a traditional Hindu family. My niece, from the youngest brother, the elder one, she married an Anglo-Indian guy, half Indian, half Canadian or something. And at the table, I was sitting, and the fellow introduced, my name is John, this is my wife, Shirley. Nice to meet you. The other fellow said, my name is Paul, and this is my husband, Jonathan. Excuse me. I just sat there and I made friends with them. So I got over my homophobia.
Yeah.
Because it is fear, actually. The word phobia means fear. People who hate homosexual people or Muslims, Islamophobia, their fear of being eaten up by them. So the word is true. They might say we hate Islam, or we hate homosexuality, or we hate this. They don't. They're scared of it.
They're scared of it, yeah. So I think that they don't understand it. And what you said earlier, where you said when people just stick to their own groups.
That's
what
that's
they don't.
cowardice.
Yeah, and they
That's
don't
cowardice.
grow. They don't get to
No, but
understand.
in England you got such a good chance. In India it's much harder. In India I'd be mixing largely with Hindus. There are Muslims there.
Yeah.
I would have 1 or 2 Muslim friends. And but even in the Hindus I'd be with my own caste. And even then, which area do you live in? God, I might as well make friends with myself, marry myself, talk to myself. So boring.
Yeah.
So education means to go out. Educare means to leave. Okay, it's time again, my friend. We are such chatty boxes. For a break, I shall play the one.
It's Red Hot Radio. Spice FM 98.8.
You make me feel alive, make me feel, and I don't really know what you do to me when I'm with you. It feels.
You got a lovely lady's voice as well.
Yes. Thank
Who's
you.
this?
That's a girl called Amy P.
M-E-P.
Yeah, Amy P.
Amy P.
Yeah.
Like Kema K.
Yeah.
Amy P. Kema K. Amy P. Okay. And do you sing with her often?
No, it was just that song we done together.
So how did you bump into her?
Because what happened is when I was writing the song, I had in my head a certain voice that I needed. So then
the same quality of voice.
Yeah, same.
It's
quality.
like choosing an instrument.
Yeah. So then there was a few other singers I knew, so I just needed to think which one would be perfect for how I wanted it to sound. So I just got in touch with her and I said, "Do you want to try it?"
She's a local girl.
Yeah, local girl, and then she tried it.
Amy P.
Yeah.
And that's you.
That's me.
But this voice is sounding different from the others.
Oh yeah, because you know I try.
Your own voice changes.
Yeah, because I try to be very versatile. You know.
She's a good singer.
So why don't you come over here with me? 'Cause I can't get enough. You give me.
So who provides the music? The music is pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. To be honest, I produced the music myself from scratch. That's what
on electronics, all on computer.
Everything you heard in that track, that's all from me.
Wow,
single thing you hear.
Wow, you're a multi-talented.
From the strings.
You're like the Indian goddesses, with 20 hands, holding the sword in one, that in the other, keyboard in the third, computer in the fourth. Wow.
Yeah, from
very
scratch, everything from scratch.
Very good. That's very nice. How many tracks is that?
On the CD itself.
No, when you made the track.
I made the track. There's the bass, there's the main melody, synth, drums, kick, snare. There's so many. There's so many layers. Yeah, so many layers. I had to do it. Like, yes, really.
So this is what you learned in Gateshead.
This is what I learned in Gateshead, yeah. And then from there, I was just, like practicing myself, going on YouTube videos, watching how to produce, how to.
Because YouTube is a source of huge wisdom.
It's amazing.
On anything you can pick up things.
That's what I think with our generation now. The fact that we have places like YouTube, it's amazing because we.
YouTube, Google. Who needs anything else?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you go where you need, instead of going to the library and reading a book that was written 25 years ago. And technology changes every day. I'm much into video filming.
All right, yeah.
And I like sound as well. I haven't learned enough about sound. I went to, is it Legacy?
All right, yeah.
And the fellows, they're so good at Apple. They said, you don't need that much, doc. In Final Cut Pro, you got enough programs to enhance the voice, to take out the hiss, to take out that, to add this. That's all you want. So I make short videos.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I cover charity events. They give me something, whatever they can afford. And proper events, I just charge them. So I enjoy that. But the fun is in the editing.
The editing part,
isn't it? Whether it's sound or visual, it's what to cut out. Because if I make a documentary, I throw away really good pieces, but they're not good. They don't fit the story I'm trying to tell. But sometimes people say, oh no, that was a lovely shot and this was out of focus. All that.
You're not happy to it.
Exactly. It's not my line.
Yeah.
So yesterday I got something from Pakistan, a chap called Saqib Javed. He's doing he's blind. And to be a blind and become a lawyer in Pakistan is not, or India, or any poor country, where people have attitude to you. If you're blind, they say, oh, it must be your fault. Don't help him, as if you go blind. So anyway, he sent me a 34-minute video. I've shrunk it down to 10 minutes. I've taken out all the script. You don't need the script, you can see it. So I edited my style and I put it on YouTube and I put it on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So how did you then, after learning all this, still survive? I mean, do you get paid enough to survive if your dad never looked after you?
Well, obviously my dad helps out a lot, but what I do is I get paid from when I do shows. And as well, I also video other people's videos as well, and I get paid from doing that. And
so again, you actually make videos for other people?
I actually shoot other videos for people as well, like music videos.
Okay, I'd like to collaborate with you.
Yeah, we should definitely.
I've got a 4K camera next door.
Have you? Oh my God!
Panasonic 4K.
Oh my God! Wow, we need to definitely.
Yeah, we need to work together. I've got a company called Anand Media House, and I've got an absolutely phenomenal photographer called Lalit Sood. He's Norman, he's called otherwise, or Lalit G. He brought me back because in school I used to develop film and all that. I used to make transistor radios in my Catholic school in India in 1960. So I was I thought, genius. Then I went to Delhi to do physics. It was so boring.
So boring.
So boring. The girls were so ugly that I came back to Patna and did medicine. And that was better. Because I like people. I like engaging with people. If there's a strike in the hospital, do something. If there's a drought in my state, do something. If Bangladesh is having butchery going on, I work on the state. I go for 3 weeks there. So I did public health kind of thing. And even as a GP, that's my job, you know. I never saw medicine as pushing pills. Within a year, I stopped seeing drug reps. I just stopped seeing reps. I made a pen with saying Anand Health Center, and when they would come, the girls would give them a pen and say, Dr. Anand, won't see you, but you can have a pen. Just turn it on its head, you know. And I did some radio shows against drug reps. On radio, television, on 90s.
Oh, wow.
So I'm quite a rebel. And in the end, I suffered. They got me. Someone came from Bristol to trap me into saying, she came on the 19th of November and said, can I have a sick note for Christmas? I said, Christmas is very far away. And she was taping me, and the whole tape is doctored.
All right.
Because you heard me, I don't stammer, I don't stutter, I don't say hospital. The whole tape is like that. But the GMC is such an ass, the General Medical Council. I wasn't allowed to speak. I had a whole prepared, but my barrister was a lovely fellow. He said to the solicitor, he's paying for this privately. I spent £75,000 defending myself in London.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
And it was, and they said, you're guilty of serious professional misconduct. I'm the only person in that whole group of 5 non-English doctors who was punished. They all wrote a sick note. I haven't written a sick note. All I said is sick note is a waste of time. I'll write anything, but not today. When you come in Christmas, I'm just fobbing her off. Like a baby, you know, you give a lollipop and say, go away. But, you know, in any case, I'm an Asian, so how can I be there? And there was a lady there in the committee, and she was just looking away all the time. She couldn't face me.
She couldn't face you either.
But she was getting £450 a day. So 17 days she collected £450 a day.
Wow.
But she did nothing for me. So all these are like money-making. So I got quite sick of General Medical Council. So they said you're guilty of serious professional misconduct. But in view of the fact that your academic and clinical things will get bad, we suspend you for 4 weeks. You know, people who rape, people who steal money regularly, they get serious professional misconduct. They're struck off. They didn't strike me off because in their hearts they knew I'd done nothing wrong.
They'd done nothing wrong,
by that time I had lost faith in the GMC and all that. So I just wrapped up and I enjoy the radio. My health is better. I'm 69 and a half years old.
Oh, you look younger, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I take no medicine except vitamin D because... Do you take vitamin D, by the way?
Every so often, yeah.
Go and get your blood checked.
Yeah.
Because even English people are short on sunlight in their bones. So you and your dad should have your vitamin D checked at the GPs. He'll check it, and if you need it, you get a prescription.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the other thing is, what's your favorite city?
My favorite city, to be honest, I'm not just saying it because I live here, but I do love Newcastle.
What? So it's terrible.
I think it's a great city.
Thick and stupid, man. How do you like it here?
I love it.
They're poor. They're backward. They're full of Asians.
I love the freedom. You know, everything. Everyone's really friendly.
Actually, race relations are pretty damn good here. People crib and complain. They're wrong. There are other cities where they don't mix. And London is not UK.
I was just about to say London. Well, every time I've been to London, it's quite like everyone, like no one really wants to talk to anyone. If you ask for directions,
exactly what I'm saying.
Get ignored. Yeah.
I said to this Sikh fellow, obviously Indian, or Kenyan, or whatever, but Sikh from India originally, and I said, could you tell me what the next stop is? He just looked away.
Yeah.
And I felt like saying, don't you understand English? Am I that ugly? What does it matter, So there's a lot of isolationism.
It is in London.
I think previously they used to read Financial Times. Now they just listen to some crap on plugging the ear.
Yeah, there was one person that I saw, and if you make eye contact, and like say, being from Newcastle, you'd be like, "You alright?" Like that's saying hello.
Hi, yeah.
But I said to her, "You alright?" She was like, "What do you mean I'm not alright? Of course I'm alright."
Are your periods okay? Are you not pregnant? Stupid woman.
And I was like, "No, I'm giving you alright." Like, hello. Do you understand?
Yeah, but you should interpret it from the language that you expect from a young lad.
Yeah.
If a doctor says, "Are you all right?" it means is your blood pressure all right. If a banker says, "Are you all right?" it means is your account all right. But for a young kid like you, all right means are you all right?
Are you okay? Hello, yeah.
See, you have the problem of being looking foreign, and yet you're totally comfortable.
Yes.
And they can't hack it.
They can't. They really can't.
They can't hack it. I mean, if you were kind of timid and kind of servile and quiet and dressed kind of modestly, but you're not. You're in the face. You're just who you are. Okay. What do you think of the welfare state? What do you think of EU? What do you think of immigration? What do you think of politics? Just give me some idea.
To be honest,
for a young lad, what do you think of these?
As a young lad, I try not to get into all that, these politics and things like that. I just try to keep out of that, because I think like a lot of people, they all have the different opinions and like.
And then you get into trouble.
I don't want to get into trouble to. Start.
So you don't mess with these.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I really don't mess with it.
So dad is there. Your friends are definitely there.
Yes.
Most importantly, music is there.
Yes.
Religion is there.
Yes.
And what do you call Nando's is there.
Nando's has all there. Nando's should have been first.
Yes.
Nando's.
So do you cook like Nando's?
I wish I could, if I could. Oh
so why don't you do a attachment or something?
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And you can rap as well.
Yeah.
You can do a Nando song and send it to them and sell it.
I keep tweeting them trying to get these famous black cards. Do you know those famous black? I don't know, how do you get them?
I mean, I haven't. I had a Nando, what you call a privilege card.
Yeah.
But I've never used it.
Is that the black No,
I didn't.
Oh right, the privilege card.
It means every time you go, you collect some points.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm talking about, there's this famous, do you know the famous black card?
What does the black card mean?
Well, what it does is you have like free Nando's. I think it's like £33,000 worth of Nando's.
If you get a black card?
Yeah. But you can't apply for black card.
They just give it to the right person.
They just give it
to you. So you make a Nando song, man.
Yeah, I need
we'll
to
make a Nando song, we'll put it on radio.
Yeah. And the good thing is you can take as many people, like I think it's 3 or 4 friends you can bring with you every time you go.
Okay, so that's your heaven.
Yeah, that would be heaven to get a black card.
Like, the Christians say in heaven there'll be angels with harps.
For me, it's a black card.
Why can't they have Nando's food for a good Christian?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's okay. Then how does your day go? Do you have any set routine? Do you wake up late, early?
Well, when I'm not doing any sort of roles for Bessie and stuff.
How often are you with Bessie? You seem to think quite a lot.
Yeah. Like she gives me a lot of work. I mean, like if anyone's listening now and wants to get into it, you just sign up on the site, which is
NE1 for TV.
Yeah.
NE Northeast 14 NE14 NE14.TV. NE1 for TV.
Yeah, and she's great, she looks after you well. Like, there's been times where I couldn't get to a place and she'd organise a lift for me. And
she's very kind.
She's very, very kind. Like, I still don't know what she looks like, so I need to meet her.
You've never met her?
I've never met her, so I need to meet her. I
saw her yesterday. She was sitting in that chair yesterday.
Yeah. So when you next see her, you need to tell her that I really need to meet her.
So did she say to you, go tomorrow?
Yeah. She says, do you want to interview tomorrow? I was like, yes, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm game. I'm always happy to bring people in and make something of it. I never met you before you walked in.
Yeah.
And you walked in. I didn't know you were black. I didn't know you were coming here. So I thought this guy's looking for directions. Come around. Otherwise,
I know I was looking at because none of the doors were open.
Yes, and Bessie's kids were meant to be coming, and they're still not here. So they still might appear in the next 45 minutes. That's her son and his girl and so on. You have never met any of these characters.
I've met Sid. I've met Sid, our daughter. She's a good character. She's funny.
Yes. So we would have had her here, but Nisha and Sid. Nisha is the other daughter.
I don't think I've met Nisha yet.
Okay. She does the sets.
Oh, she's on sets. I've probably seen her on set.
That's how I got to know Bessie. When I was doing the Bengali movie. See, this is the thing about life. no person, they'll introduce you to the next
someone,
person.
and then the next, yeah.
And the beauty of Newcastle is they say in the world there's 5 degrees of separation. If I went to Zambia and I talked to your grandfather, there'll be 5 people who'd link me with him. But now there's only, you are enough.
Yeah, I'm enough. Yeah.
But in Newcastle, if you know somebody and you talk about somebody else, there'll be just one person more. It's a big village.
Yeah.
Without the disadvantages. Isn't it? I like Newcastle too. I've done my general practice training here. I did 2 bits in South Shield, but I like Newcastle far more. It's got everything you need. I mean, and it's about mentality. You know, when I was applying for jobs, I thought, oh, I'll be in London. My wife likes to watch opera. There's that. Who cares? It's just an idea, you know.
Yeah.
I've got enough friends here, more than enough. This radio station is quite a big part of my life. I go to the Speakers Club. That's quite big. I've got a friend called Ali, who I'll be seeing him just after 2 o'clock. So it is what you make of it. You attract the people you want.
That's true. Have you heard of the law of attraction, The Secret?
Tell me. I have, but I want to hear your version.
Yes, like it's a book called The Secret. It's all about the law of attraction, as in like whatever you think is going to happen. It attracts where it sends signals out to the universe, you know. And I'm a strong believer in that. And I remember before I actually signed up with Bessie on the site, like I've always wanted, because I used to do acting in school and stuff. I've done it since primary school all the way through to
secondary. So it was a big passion for you.
It was a big passion for me. So I thought, you know what, I really want to do it, but being in a place like Newcastle, how do I start? How do I go about it?
Yes.
Then I was just telling myself something's going to come about. I know it is. I was certain. Then
faith in yourself.
Yeah, and then that's when my friend had told me about the site. So then it came about. So
somebody has made a phone call. I hope it's one of your friends. Hello, caller. Who's that, please? Hello. Who's that, please?
It's Muhammad. Dr. Anand.
Yes, it is Dr. Anand. Hello, Muhammad.
How are you, doctor?
I'm very, very well. Fire away. Are you listening to the show?
Yeah, I'm listening. I just wanted to know who is that guy.
Okay, tell him.
I'm listening. I'm listening him since last one hour and.
Okay. Where are you? Mohammed? Where are you based? Why don't you walk into the studio? Ajao. Aja, seriously. Come. He's a lovely guy. He's a 22-year-old guy, came to UK with his parents at the age of 2. His mother stayed with them till age 7, then she died. Now he lives with his dad. He's a wonderful guy. Aja.
अभी तो मैं ड्राइव कर रहा हूँ कहीं मैं जा रहा हूँ
अच्छा
लेकिन मैं जरा
You talk to him directly. Go on. You're talking to Kema. Kema is his first name. K is his official music name. Kema K, and that's Muhammad. Talk to each other. Go on.
How are you doing?
Hello, Kema. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm listening and I'm enjoying your talk, and it's really nice.
Thank you.
I don't know what actually you got a background. So I just called and I wanted to ask your doctor that who is that guy?
I'll tell you one thing I can offer you. Give me your email address and I'll send you a link when we put it on YouTube.
Okay, fine. It's SIDD, which is Sid, SIDD.
Sid, huh?
4560.
4560.
At yahoo.com.
Yahoo. And tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do, Sid?
Dear, I am working in council. I'm doing job here. And I'm good listener.
No, but you're a good talker as well. Yes. I'd love you on the studio sometime. Because you bothered, see, many people listen, but they don't have the courage
to call.
Yeah, but you're saying, who is this guy? It means you're fascinated by him. And it's nice,
Yeah. No, I like you and I like your programs. Most of programs, I listen to your program when I'm driving. And
okay, thank you.
I have time. But one thing, there are a lot of repeat programs like your and other.
Yeah, I lost my mother on the 30th of June and I was away in India for 2 weeks and then I moved house. Then my 2 boys have come to stay with me. So a lot of life changes, that's why. But you won't see hear repeats now. On Monday, I'm hoping to have a chap called Malcolm if he comes. And what I'll be doing is run 1 hour of Hindi film songs in some rag, maybe Bhopali. And he'll be accompanying on the guitar. Then half an hour we'll do classical. And then I'll say, now you play. So in a way, I'm teaching him our kind of music without sitting in class. तो So I like doing interesting things. I'd love to meet you, Sid. I mean, I called you Sid. I mean, are you Siddiqui or something?
Siddiq. My name is Muhammad Siddiq, but
Sid.
Some people call me Muhammad and some call Sid.
अच्छा.
Depend करता है ना कि आप किस community के साथ.
हाँ. नहीं, मोहम्मद कहूँगा हॉल में तो आधे खड़े हो जाएंगे. सिड तो बहुत कम हो गए.
असल में मैंने आपको जो है आपकी एक झलक देखी थी कि जब मौलाना तारिक जमील आए थे. I thought कि ये डॉक्टर आनंद ही हैं.
हाँ.
वो एक और साहब थे जो दाढ़ी वाले जो आपके.
हाँ, वो मेरे दोस्त अली हैं. हम गए तो वहाँ पर कोई और वीडियो ऑलरेडी कर रहा था. हम सोचे काय को डुप्लीकेट करें, हम चले गए. नहीं तो आई फिल्म्ड हिम इन दी अदर होटल. क्या नाम है उसका, वो क्या नाम है यार उसका, जो चौधरी साहब, खालिक चौधरी का जो होटल है वर्मोंट, वहां पर हमने बनाया था वीडियो. लाइक चैरिटी वर्क कोई भी करता है बताइएगा. आई फिल्म इफ समवन वांट्स टू गिव अ पेनी और टू, ठीक है, नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं. चैरिटी के लिए करना चाहिए. मिलते हैं आपसे.
मैं आपसे मिलूंगा
जरूर
करके मैं आपके पास आऊंगा.
जरूर. यू आर वेरी वेलकम.
बहुत कुछ सीखना है.
नहीं, बहुत कुछ शेयर करेंगे. ओके, थैंक यू माय फ्रेंड. थैंक यू. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have a call through,
Yes.
It's really good.
It's nice because, they are listening to you and they are being inspired by what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd like him to do a police sketch of you. It'll be completely different from what you are, isn't it? And because I'm on the radio, a lot of people recognize me. The young guys, your generation, or 30 to 40, they really love what I say because they feel the same but can't say, because the older generation, how you can't say that. Not in my house, not in my country, not in my religion. But the young people think fresh.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Children are so innocent. On Facebook, you see a dog licking the face of a baby and the baby happy. Mm-hmm. If I come and say, hey, dirty. Hey, I'm a good Hindu. Dog, dirty. He won't go to heaven. But children don't have all this.
They don't. Really
and on Facebook, you'll see a parrot feeding a dog. Parrot is sitting on the kitchen table and the dog can't reach there. Mm-hmm. A duck feeding fish. Mm-hmm. How does a duck understand how to feed a fish?
I know, it's amazing.
So, nature and children are so clever, so. We dumb them down. Mm-hmm. We say you'll sit in class from the age of 4 on your butt. No toilet, no singing, no shouting. That's wrong, That's totally wrong. That brings me to education. There's an Indian guy. He just decided to put a big screen on the outside wall of his office.
Yeah.
So he's a software engineer, and he just put that there. And within 6 to 7 hours, a boy and a girl, totally uneducated, they never went to school, they can't speak Hindi, never mind English. Mm-hmm. They found how to pick a certain artist on YouTube.
Really?
Just by trial and error.
Wow.
So this impressed him very much. Mm-hmm. Sugata Mitra is his name. Sugatmitra. Mm-hmm. By the way, do you watch TED Talks?
No, I don't know.
TED.com. TED Talks. Mm-hmm. Because you get ideas.
Yeah.
So how is the suicide bomber produced?
Mm-hmm.
Interview. 2 mothers, one son is locked up because allegedly he was in the 9/11 plot. A Muslim guy.
Yeah.
Egyptian guy. And one mother whose son got killed. Mm-hmm. And when the 2 mothers are crying, you could cry. Because they're both mothers who lost a child.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then all the politics, the religion, all disappear. Just mother's love. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in TED Talks, Sugata Mitra then started teaching. He realized that you don't need so many teachers, you need resources. The teachers are there to guide. Mm-hmm. Like you need one bus conductor.
The basics, just to give you the basics. Yeah.
And of course, you don't pull someone's hair out and beat up somebody and all that kind of thing. So he then produced a computer which taught children in deep Tamil Nadu, where they speak with a very heavy accent. Mm-hmm. They talk in English like this, very strong, much stronger than this.
Yeah.
And the computer would give them marks. Mm. In the end, they were all speaking perfect English after a month.
Wow.
Because the computer would give them marks. The computer doesn't make you feel bad. Mm-hmm. It just gives you the rating.
Yeah, the rating on it.
There's no ego in a computer. So I learned, like you, a lot on video editing from computers. I only do Mac. I have nothing to do with PCs now.
I don't like PCs.
We are friends for life.
Yes, we are.
But 4 years ago, I decided to go totally non-PC. I'm not politically correct anyway, non-PC. And I just locked up my computer, got a MacBook Air, and I paid £75 for a year's training. Up to 50, 60 times I went in a year for 1 hour sessions.
Yeah.
Just for £75. Where do you get for £1.10
exactly
a session?
You don't.
Yeah. The 2 bits match. Okay, it's not for nerds. It's not for computer literate persons. But if you want to produce, if you really want to do something, then it's Apple. If you want to get under the box and find out a driver and get a virus out and have a lot of trouble, I mean, PCs are cheaper, of course, but you pay for what you get.
Exactly.
Simply
I
as
think they're worth, the Macs are worth, like, when I got my Mac, it's like you actually don't look back, do you?
And of course, on the stage, if you open the Mac and there's an Apple, everyone thinks, God.
Yeah, wow. You must have money to get this Mac.
But long term, if they look after you, I mean, this Mac is 3 years old. I'm just dying to earn some money so I can move it up to the next one, faster one. And I've shrunk everything. I don't have much data on it, so I have 150 gigabytes free. And that's enough for my editing. But I also have a Lightning 2 terabyte and a 6 terabyte hard drive for big editing, you know. And shall I show you something? What else I have?
Oh, I've seen these before. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's a Mac Watch.
Yeah, wow.
So, I mean, I've turned the phone off at the minute because I'm filming you. But otherwise, I'll say...
Because phone calls come through it as well.
I just say, phone, Kema, K.
Yeah, and then... Wow.
And the police won't catch me. And I'm a bit shy. It's like getting the mobile phone in 1990, I think, or whenever the mobile phones came. The Motorola with this...
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
But I used to ask people to ring me.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Hindu temple. I'd say, can you at 12:30 give me a ring? So everyone could see it. They would see
you could take it out, show it. Someone's ringing me. Did everyone get to see the phone just before I answer it?
Please. Or in India, when you got transistor radios. I'm sure in Zambia the same thing would have happened. Somebody could afford a big transistor radio.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 it's going. Just showing off, you know.
Yeah.
And then you think, what's the need? So it's there. Okay. So your brother, you haven't told me much about him. He's 3 years older?
3 years older than
What
me,
does he do? He's 25.
Yeah, he's 25 now.
And his name is?
Chapa, C-H-A-P-A.
Chapa, okay.
Yeah, Chapa. And what he does, he just works on a construction site. So he's just working almost, I think, 5 days a week.
Very hard. Physically.
Yeah. So
what's his hobbies? What does he like doing?
He listens to music.
So you produce the music?
He doesn't listen to my music. He actually doesn't.
What does he think of your music?
Do you know? It's just one of those things where it's like
just my kid brother.
Yeah, just my kid brother. You know, so he doesn't take it
seriously.
As seriously. Yeah.
So would you like him to come to one of your shows and stand up and say, "Yeah"?
I've asked him, but you know, I think it's also, you know, the
sibling thing.
The jealousy, the big
sibling
rivalry. You know what I mean. So yeah, but
so there's a bit of that.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, but it's all right. You know, we still like.
You're still friends.
Yeah, of course, we still very.
And does he also have a lot of faith? Less. Yeah. Because faith can help a lot, you know. I mean, faith works in many ways. I was listening to the Dalai Lama, and I have a huge respect for that guy.
Yeah.
How happy he is, smiling all the time. His country has been taken over by the Chinese, raped, pillaged. Mountains have been excavated and turned into mobile phones. I mean, when you buy anything from China, you're killing Tibet at the same time. People talk about Palestine all the time. It's a Muslim country, so the Muslims fight for it. I went to Palestine.
Yeah.
And it's bad. Of course it's bad. It's terrible what they're doing to the Arabs. But what they're doing to the Tibetans is exactly the same. But nobody's bothered.
No one talks about. No one's really bothered about it.
Yeah. You know, we talk about the Jewish, the Holocaust. 6 million Jews. And it was terrible. But 30 million Slovaks were killed as well. 500,000 Poles, 500,000 gays. Nobody talks about them. 100 million Red Indians were killed when America was taken over by white people. And same with slaves. I mean, did you have any slaves in your ancestry?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about it. How does that feel to you?
For me, like, I'm just fortunate that I wasn't born in the time of that happening. But what happened with my grandfather's parents were actually taken away from him into slavery.
Where?
So I think they were shipped over to America.
Via Bristol?
Sorry?
Via Bristol?
I don't know the exact details.
Because English were the traders. They would buy people and then treat them really, 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 really badly.
I know. So, like, I do have slavery in my
background.
No,
but it hasn't affected you?
It hasn't affected me. Like
because in the West Indies, the music is also a bit slavish. I find music from Africa different from music from West Indies. There's a little bit of that slavery pepper and salt on it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know, but but I'm just so fortunate, you know, to grow up in a time where it doesn't happen anymore. So it's a blessing. It's almost a blessing.
Well, it's the same as saying I was born in 1946 and 47 India got freed.
Yeah.
It's not total freedom, but it was handing over of power to the bootlickers that were there in India and Pakistan and so on. But really, the British were tired of India and they ran away, basically. Okay, it's time for a jingle before we get more deep into hot water.
Spice FM.
Leave them alone, what they've been through, you don't know. Baby, bully to the point that they wanna end the life, they don't wanna feel the pain anymore. I tell them all to.
That brings me to the topic of suicide.
Yes.
My youngest son committed suicide 10
10
years ago, Sharad.
So sorry to hear about that.
And they had a music band, he and his middle brother. And they used to go to and do rapping music and do exactly the things you do. I've seen music. So when you say it comes to a point where it's not worth living, because death, I mean, I'm not here to morally judge anybody, but death to them, or someone who's even cutting their wrist, that pain is less than the pain they're suffering inside.
Exactly.
So, and you know, very funny thing, it was very painful the way he was discovered and found out. He jumped off the Tyne Bridge at 9:15 in the morning, on the day his mother and I were married. So there's some statement there. And the thing that helped me was the chief priest of the Hindu temple said, you know, we all have different parking tickets. I said, what do you mean? He said, just like a car comes to be parked, your parking ticket is longer than your son's on the planet. And such a daft thing to say. And yet, that helped me.
It helped, yeah.
And then one other lady who's a healer, she said, you know, don't challenge and question why did he do it. It was his decision, respect it. No religion say, oh, it's wrong, it's this. I mean, he's gone, he's dead. What's the point of criticizing it?
Exactly.
So I did the whole 9 yards with him. I went to every Hindu bit that was. I took his ashes to India for myself. I mean, his soul is wherever it is. But I had to go through that journey. And I took my mother's ashes too to India. It's the ritual, you know, it's the ritual that helps.
That's right.
Even if you're very clever, even if you understand that it's only a ritual. But it does help, you know, like Sunday dinners, even if it's just mother-in-law you can't stand, if you're going every Sunday to her, it creates a stability in your life.
It does.
Otherwise you say, shall we go to Asda? Shall we go to Metro Center? Shall we go to Eldon Square? Shall we? When the kids were small, it was easy. Then you had to take them out to the beach. But with the older kids, there's no rituality.
That's true.
And I think rituals are very, very helpful.
They are definitely very helpful.
Okay. So tell me, where's your future then? I mean, you're growing in your music, you're producing the music. Is there any producer you have? Any?
No, well, what happened is when I used to be in the youth project I was working at, there was a producer there.
In Stanhope Street?
Yes, but what happened
What's his name?
His name was Tim Hutchinson.
I think I know the name.
You probably know the guy if you see him. But what happened is because I used to be in a band. And we got signed when I was 16 years old.
In that band?
Yeah, in that band. But because we were at the youth project, the producer was saying he owned certain rights, but it's actually a charity, so he was already getting paid for doing the work.
Okay. So it came to rights and wrongs and charity.
Yeah, and then there was too much legal issues. What happened? So then,
my God! Sounds so English, you know.
It was horrible, and then you know, then the label that didn't want to have to deal with all that stuff, and then the band split up
because of all this.
Yeah, because of all this, and then I had to start from scratch, you know, because I moved out of the West End, and the way the chat shop worked is you were only allowed to live in the NE4 area to be part of that. So because I moved to Gossip, I couldn't go there anymore. So I started from scratch.
When was that? How long ago?
How old was I? I was 17 when I had to start from scratch.
So 5 years ago, you were back to zero.
Back to zero, nothing. So then, you know, I was in really, really bad time.
Bad place, yes.
And then, so I thought, quit music. I think for a year I didn't do music.
Really?
Yeah, until I was.
You went into the wilderness.
Yeah, and then I was just really down. And then I thought, you know what?
So were you depressed?
Yeah, I was. I didn't see a doctor, but
thank God for that.
Yeah.
You weren't given any tablets.
It makes you worse. I've heard tablets make you worse.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, I've never prescribed Prozac in my life.
Yeah.
I just used the old tablets for 2 weeks and then for counseling.
Yeah.
And said, look, face the reality.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. So I've come to the reality. This has happened. If you let the past define you, you can never have a future.
Wow.
So
say that again. So beautiful.
If you let the past
define you, you'll never have a future. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks. So,
history is good for a bedtime
Yes.
reading or just sitting in an armchair, but don't live in history.
exactly.
yeah.
So from then I thought, you know what, right? No producer, nowhere to record.
So you decided to be your own man.
Yeah, just decide, you know what can I do? So then I joined the college course, learned how to make my own stuff, and I started building a home
So,
studio.
so all this nonsense of you can only be in any four if you want to be here and we legally own part of it, all that bunkum made you a stronger person.
It did. It really
And if
did.
it didn't happen, otherwise life would be smooth.
Thank you.
and-
Yes, I'm actually thankful for that situation
Yes.
because I wouldn't be where I was. I wouldn't be able to do the things I do now if that never happened.
Because
So
you would never grow.
I would never grow. Yes, exactly.
You had two hands, now you're like an octopus.
Because I was almost spoon fed when I was there. You know, I had the recording studio there for free.
Easy
The
peasy.
producer there for free. If I
Yeah.
couldn't write, everything was so
Provided.
easy. Yeah,
Yes.
provided. So,
You know
Yes.
Gautam Buddha, the fellow who started Buddhism.
all right, yeah.
He lived, he was born in Lumbini, which is in Nepal, and he lived in my state, Bihar, and then that's where he became the wise man.
Yeah.
When he was a prince, life was easy. His father didn't allow him to see illness, ugliness, death, disease. So he thought the world was a heaven.
Perfect, yeah.
And then when his wife was having a baby, he went out at the wrong time and saw an ill man, a dying man, and he suddenly, and look what happened to him. He transformed from a chrysalis to a butterfly. So troubles are there, either they kill you off or make you bitter,
make you bitter.
or you rise from the ashes. So whether it's my move from a PC to an Apple and getting rid of the old data, or moving house. I've lived in Gosford from 1984. 83 I came to Wallsend. 84 I did all my jobs around Newcastle from there. And then when I took my job, Elmfield Road was the posh road.
Yeah.
Big trees, expensive house. And things broke down. I became bankrupt. Wife left. Son died. Father died. What more do you want? You know, job went, of course. But I'm the same bugger.
And you're a very happy man. You know, you got such a good vibe about you.
Not
you know,
because I've lost those things, because those things cannot define me. They were. I am. I write Dr. Anand because I only write one name. Otherwise, doctor is just a role I've played.
Yes.
I'm not defined. I was not the rubber stamp on my face when I was born. Thou shalt be a doctor. It's a cardinal sin not being a doctor. My parents never told me what to do, honest. I could have been a physicist. Now I'm on radio. I've actually applied for, on the 3rd of September, on Thursday, I'm not doing a show. I'm going to Toffee Shop in the, what's that called? The biker area. What's that area called? The Clooney.
The Clooney, yeah.
To do a whole day on a crash course on filming. To see, meet other people, bump into other people. But since you're interested in videoing, I'd love to involve you in some way.
Yeah, definitely. That would be perfect.
Yeah, because if you're free, you come and film.
Yeah, I could do that.
And you'll share. So Lalit Sood gave me the idea. He says, why don't you start a media house? So I do my own editing. I film and edit. Like, say I went to the Sikh Gurdwara in Sunderland. I filmed 5 hours. I said 500 pounds. And they made a hoo-ha. I said, okay, 499. And then somebody told it. I said, 498. So that's a big tease, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because you're a senior, I've got a nice beard, doesn't mean I drop the price.
Exactly.
And, But after that, I line edited that night. I phoned them. They said, oh, we are busy. It's their bloody son's birthday. I said, okay. They took 3 weeks to come and see it. And I said, it's ready. Then the husband is from India. The wife is from here. She said, we'll have some bhangra. He said, no, we'll have something religious. And then I added it and that's it. And I said, how many DVDs do you want? Extra charge? I said, no. Bring a USB, take the thing away. Put it on USB, it's yours. You paid enough. So that way, but charity events I do and people ring and say, how much can we pay? I say, whatever you can afford. Simply like that. And Lalit Sood and I had a very wonderful interaction. I was called to do a Hindu ceremony for some South Indian people. And they said 500 pounds we'll give you. I thought, that's pretty damn good. And I didn't have a 4K camera, but it was pretty damn good. I had a GH3 camera. You know, the mirrorless SLR cameras. They're stupid, you know. Because it's electronics, you don't need a mirror.
You really don't.
What's the mirror for?
I know.
So anyway, GH3 is pretty, they made movies out of it. The only thing is it'll run only half an hour. But when you're shooting short things, half an hour is too much. You know? Half an hour at a time, I mean. Press again. So anyway, filmed that. Lalit Sood, I said, how much will you charge? He said 200. I said, listen, can I come and see you editing? he also spends 2 hours filming, takes 3,000-4,000 pictures, and goes through ones where someone's picking their nose in a group, someone's sneezing, some odd picture, some woman's clothes are not in the right place. He deletes them, then he'll get, say, about 500. And for every hour he filmed photographs, he spends 2 hours editing.
2 hours editing.
So I thought that's exactly what I do. I said, I won't give you 200, I'll give you 250.
Because it's a lot in the editing process.
Yes,
so people don't really, when they see the finished product, they don't see the time.
They don't realize how much you put in, how many cameras you've broken, how many USB flash drives you've lost, how many times you've not been paid and all that. So it's like the music you produce. I mean, I've got here just 5 CDs, but how long it took you? I mean,
it took me so like
it took you 22 years.
It took me a long time. You know, like because I remember people saying, oh, because it's an EP, it's not an album, it's just an EP. And they were saying, how come it's only 5 songs? And I was like, well, no, in the process of making that, I made over 15 to 20 songs. And then I rounded them down to the best ones I thought would fit for that particular project.
For that.
Yeah. And then there's so much what goes into it. And then there's times when I've gone to gigs and they say, oh, can you perform for free? But then we want you to bring all the people in as well. So I said, but if I'm bringing the people and they're paying
who are making money out of
who's making money for you, then I should, I was like, it doesn't work like that. And so I think even with this business, you have to be really, you have to be really clued up. Because
see, you're not selling a car part. A piece of rubber, a washer will say cost 10 pence. But if it's at the Mercedes, it's the same damn thing. It'll cost 50 pounds because it's from Mercedes. And obviously the quality of Marks and Spencer, it'll be better. But you're selling a service, and people don't value service. They value a thing because they don't have qualities. They don't understand. So only people with high quality in whatever field. I mean, if you meet an architect, a doctor, I'm not saying everyone's like that, but generally they'll know that what drawings your father does is only a drawing, but one piece of advice might save someone thousands of pounds.
That's true.
Or one wrong piece of advice might bring the building down. So he's quite a responsible guy. He's like a pilot. What's he doing? Just sitting there. It's on autopilot. And the landing he does a bit, and then you get a bit of a thump and that. But he's put so many flying hours. Or a musician, the classical musicians, they come all the way from India and say, what? 1 hour he'll take £1,000. I said, £1,000 is nothing for the hours and hours and hours he's put in, and the talent and all the abuse he's got from other people saying, why aren't you a doctor, why aren't you this and that? Then he goes and lives in a little house. So, you know, I mean, respecting talent is, you have to be talented to respect that.
You have to, you really do.
I mean, the opposite is true. I have no value for the painting, what's that one, the woman who's smiling in the Lourdes, what you call? The famous painting of the woman with a smile.
It's not the
Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's nothing better than, it's as big as that. It's no big deal. I mean, it's okay. But the other paintings I've seen there, which are huge, where the Virgin Mary is holding a baby, and where she's holding the fingers, pressing his buttock, and that dimple is so perfect, you feel like touching it. It's, to me, I mean, okay, my tastes are not as evolved or devolved. You know, in art, if it doesn't hit you and somebody has to tell you, it's bunkum.
That's
art
so
has
true.
to get you.
It has to catch you straight away.
Otherwise,
it's not
art.
something to explain.
No. If you have to explain, it's like love. Why do you love somebody? You love your father. Can you explain?
You can't. You really can't. You can't. It's just...
Because explanation comes from the head and feelings come from the heart.
That's good.
I mean, the emotions are not just the heart, but the whole body is involved in it. And it's a wiser thing. I mean, people fall in love with short people, fat people, ugly people. I mean, not a very pretty women going on with very fat, ugly, poor people. But there's something in that guy that resonates. Because I've done a thing called heart math. It measures your heart rate changing. And if you're not in unison with somebody, you'll actually, without saying a word, you're harming each other. If you sit in the plane next to a guy who's all jittery and angry, he will not say anything because he's British, he's polite. But you'll pick up the vibes. Cats in old people's home, they found, will sit next to a woman a person who's dying because the heart rate variability. Not that the cat is a bad omen. The cat picks it up. Dogs and children know who loves them. I'm not a great dog lover, but I tolerate them. But my friends are. The dog will straight away go to them. Not because he said anything. They
just to feel it, they pick up the vibe.
Exactly. So talking about feelings, I asked my guru, you're going tonight to Gosforth Civic Centre to perform what rag? Which modality will you sing? He said, look, I'll sit there. If I see a brave looking Sikh I'll do a rag which is do with martial. If I see a very beautiful woman, I'll do something romantic. If I see an old lady with white clothes, Hindu lady who's sad that husband gone, I'll sing something sad. If I see a child, I'll do something frolicsome. So it's the audience that tells me indirectly what to play. And you know, when you're playing your music, you also pick up cues.
You do.
The public tells you what to play.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Isn't it?
That's so true.
And somebody else will ignore that and do something else. And I think whether you're a good rapper or an interviewer or a doctor, it's the rapport thing. That connection.
The connection between you and the audience who's listening.
Yes, yes. Or Speakers Club, same thing. So when I go to Speakers meeting or something and I'm speaking, I'll make friends with one or two guys, someone like you who's friendly. So where are you from? I will crack a few jokes. When I crack a joke, you'll laugh. Because I've got one person who I've kind of
connected with,
planted there almost. The same is true about your music, isn't it? When you go in and somebody helps you unpack and all, you instantly make a rap with them. A rapport with them, I meant, and so on. Okay, I'll play your fourth track and then we'll see. So this is that girl and you, what's her name again?
Amy P.
Amy P, yeah.
Cause they ain't got nothing on you. Let me put a smile on your face again. Anywhere you wanna go, we can spend. Cause you're looking at me like more than a friend. And you give me that rush and I don't wanna end. Oh, there she go, there she go. And she knows she 11 out of 10. And if she don't, I'm letting her know. So she don't beat that and again. I don't know what you do, but I swear I want more. Don't really mind if I overdose. Cause it's you I've been looking for.
You make me feel alive, make me feel. And I don't really know what you do to me. When I'm with you, it feels.
No, the show hasn't ended. I want to tell you about copyright. This is a bunch of students of Ravi Shankar, the great Indian classical musician who's died, the sitar player, Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
This is his students' tribute to him. So I rang America from the label and I said, I just want your permission to play 10-15 seconds of it. They passed me to somebody who passed me to somebody who passed me. After half an hour of phoning America, it was only 1 p.m. minute. I just said, no thank you, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I took the music, slowed it down on Amadeus Pro. I'm playing it, nobody's catching it. I just slowed it down. Because YouTube and all around that smart. You play the music at 10% slower rate.
They're not going to catch it,
But what am I harming?
I know. It's not like you're there
I'm
to
making
make
lots of money out of it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm giving respect to Ravi Shankar's students. So this is my way of going around copyright. Otherwise, YouTube has 4 times shut me down.
Yeah.
One day, there's a lady called Madhu Chambers. She is a fantastic presenter of literature and so on. So she had lots of Harry Potter stuff. Straight away cut down. Then there's a famous Bollywood actor, Indian actor called Amir Khan. And I, as a tribute to him, I put it out. That my channel was closed for a month.
Wow.
So, you know, you really get heavily punished. If it's good, they punish you.
That's true. That's very true.
So what do you think of copyright? How should you protect your copyright?
Or the way I should protect it? Well, for
Your
me,
own.
like, I really don't mind the way people use my music, as long as, like, they're not making money, you know, from it. So I think, like...
They're sharing.
Yeah, because in fact, it's actually more promotion. It's more, like, more people are getting to hear your music. So I think copyright are too harsh on it, because I've actually... So there's times I've done, like, covers on YouTube and things like that, and they've been taken down because of copyright, but it's like...
But it's yours.
Yeah, I'm not.
So you're not allowed to show off your own material.
Like, you know, like covers, like cover songs. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Cover means somebody else's.
Yeah, somebody else's.
But you're emulating them and making them famous.
I know exactly. So, and then that's been shut down. So then, like, now I'll just try to stay away from doing cover songs and just do my original.
So in cover, you're actually paying a tribute to the original guy.
Exactly. Yes.
Do you know Mike Hall?
Mike Hall, yes.
Midnight. He was my patient.
Yes.
I've known him donkeys.
Yeah.
He's cover for Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
I was in the Civic Center about 3 years, and City Hall 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He was performing. He looks like him. He plays like him.
Yeah.
I know the guy very well.
Wow.
He was a quantity surveyor. And then his marriage broke up, and then he decided to do music. It's interesting how people change paths.
Just so quickly.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
But that's called adaptability, isn't it? I mean, if I was in India, my English would be poorer, my Hindi would be better, I'd be fat, I'd have lost all my hair, 15 kids.
Yeah.
Same wife. Boring.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
That's great.
I want to keep strong. I know it's hard, but keep going. Just don't let
Your voice has a massive range, you know, in the
Thank you.
sense that not just the pitch but also the tonality.
Thank you, thanks.
It is quite different from the first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, this song is actually inspired me. There was a few of my fans.
What is it about?
It's about people getting bullied and stuff, because I've done a bullying campaign last year.
Oh, very good.
It was called Leave Them Alone, and we had like bands and stuff. And
Oh, good that you're involved in that.
yeah, because I think like bullying, it really affects people. Like,
yeah. They get crushed for life.
Yeah, they do. And then so the whole song was just to say, like, telling people how people who are getting bullied feel. And
how bad we feel.
Yeah, because I was hearing some really touching stories about people cutting themselves, or people close to committing suicide. And they were telling me, like, just by me being there or making music, I've helped them, like, stay, or and so I thought, I need to make more awareness. And I was traveling to different cities. There's a girl I met in Oldham, and she was telling me she didn't want to go outside anymore because
she became a total recluse.
Yeah, she just stayed in the house. So I went all the way there, spent money, went there. I sat down with her. I was like, look, you can't let them destroy you. It's better if you go out, like, make something of yourself. And then you can look back and like, I didn't let them destroy me.
Yes.
And then so she
use that as a springboard for success.
Yeah, use it. So then she called me a few months later. She's like, I've joined a college course. I'm now going out.
Wow.
And then like stuff like that, it touched me. I was so emotional for it. Thanks.
No, I mean, you can help people in a million ways. You don't have to see a psychiatrist who'll plug full of drugs into you. You give her a practical solution.
Exactly.
Have you heard of Tony Robbins?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I went on one of his courses. So he's quite abrupt, he's quite rude, he's used 4-letter words, but he's an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming expert.
All right, yeah.
So there was a girl he brought on stage, and I was, on the 4th day, I was right in the front seat, though I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Those are people who paid £2,000, but, people leave and you sneak up. Get it on the cheap. So I was sitting in the front row, and this girl, aged 16, had become a recluse, had jumped out of a first floor, trying to commit suicide. It's very hard to kill yourself from the first floor. Tried to drown herself in the bath. So he got her up and said, hey, you want to kill yourself? Come in my helicopter. I'll drop you in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And he's really in your face.
Yeah.
Before that, there was a very pretty woman, but a bit fat, no makeup, nothing. And he says, after a lot of questioning, and the camera's on her, the big screens, what do you do for love? He says, she says, oh, I've got cousins. So he says, do you make love to them? I'm not using 4-letter words. What do you mean? He said, you exactly know what I mean. When I'm asking a pretty young woman, what do you do for love? I mean, sex. And when I'm too busy, she says, you're not too busy. You're running away from it.
You're running away
So tomorrow you come all dressed up. And she came quite elegantly, not kind of showing her breasts or anything, but quite smartly dressed. She had makeup on and she looked stunning.
Yeah.
He says, now, madam, you're cured.
Yeah. Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
हाँ जी जफर भैया
डॉक्टर साहब क्या हाल है ठीक हो
आप आए नहीं आज
No, I haven't.
I've got a lovely fellow called Kema K. He's only 22, black guy, fantastic in music. बहुत पहुंचा आदमी. We missed you because you would love to talk to him.
Well, we'll do it next time.
Okay.
And you're supposed to still show me how to put DVDs on YouTube and all that.
I will one day.
One day is that day never comes.
No, well, you need to chase me.
About this one-day job.
No, one-day job.
Coffee shop in Pakistan. I went in and it says free coffee tomorrow. So I went in next day, and,
no, we're not in Pakistan. We are only in Fenham, which is almost like Pakistan.
Your tomorrow is never come.
Tomorrow doesn't come. So you have to bring all your stuff, and Monday 2 o'clock.
No, we'll do it at my house because I'll make some nice pakoras as well.
Okay, that's
come here
done
you live
deal.
next to me now. You live near me, so you got no excuse.
All right.
So we'll make some nice pakoras and
okay, Zafar.
I'm off today, so...
okay, no, I have a meeting. I have to go to a meeting at 2 o'clock and then I have to go to Durham after that. So I'm fully tied up.
After tonight, anytime tonight. You can give me a call.
I'll phone you.
Phone me and let me know and I'll be home.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you. Have you got my phone number, na?
I've got your phone number.
Just text me your full address so I can put it in the contact. Text me a full address.
12 Teasdale Gardens, just up the road.
12 Teasdale, but with postcode and everything. Text kar de, please.
Okay, right.
All right. Thanks, Zafar. Thanks for phoning. Bye-bye. Bye. I was telling about this friend of mine who into food. He's not a chef or anything.
Yeah.
But he'll always either bring some plums or pears.
Yeah.
Some food, and it's become a ritual now. And he makes pakoras. You know what pakoras are? With
Yeah. I've had
chickpea
them
flour.
before, yeah.
So he does all that. So we have almost come to the end of the show, and I would like to play your first track again because I liked it very much. I think you've done very well considering all the stuff you've been through. I'm glad you're not a doctor or a dentist. You're your own man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you love Nando's.
Ati.
I'm glad you get on with your brother. I'm glad you love your father.
Yes.
And your best friend is your father. And he's so lucky to have you. I'm speaking
Thank
as a
you.
father myself.
Thanks. Sir.
He's lucky that our children in this country, despite the culture being completely the opposite, that you're there. So thank you a millionfold. And we'll see you again with your friends, your father,
We
whoever.
will do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you're easy to talk to.
Thanks.
But there are more people than people chip in.
Yeah.
So we've been talking incessantly for
Yeah.
120 minutes, minus 4 or 5. So this will all be on YouTube tonight.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Take it.
Started as a dream, but I didn't think I'd get to the point where they say that I'm inspiring. I got people who look up to me, so I never break. Some try to stop me, but they're never on my face. So I keep going. Every obstacle I take, when I run through these walls, there ain't nothing I can break. So trust me when I say I'm doing okay. Everything that I go through.
So that was Kema K. Look him up on Facebook under KEMAKAY. And we'll bring him again. 2 phone calls. We hope to have many more. Thank you very much for listening.
Fans for me right now, so I'm feeling blessed. If you don't like me, then respect all this hard work but no rest. Cause I came to take it all, leave you with nothing left. So just watch as I make history, and all I wanna know is who's with me. So if you're down to follow me on this ride, then everything's alright. Everything I ever wanted right in front of me. Whoa. And if I fail to deliver,
Arguing with people,
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
to me, I can see it spells Kema, but everyone says Kema.
no,
but
I
it would
mean-
be 2 E's if it was Kema, right?
Well, next door is a lady called Kemi, K-E-M-Y. She's a beautician.
Oh, yeah.
But English is a funny language. I write A-N-A-N-D
Yeah.
and expect people to say Anand.
yeah.
If I did really want that, I should have spelled A-A-N-A-N-D.
Yeah, thank you.
Anand. But then the D is not Anand. It's Ananda. So I should write A-A-N-A-N-T-H.
Yeah.
But then they say Anantha. But English is quite a odd language. It takes sounds from everywhere. So it's very difficult to... Okay. How did you get this name? Kema is the actual name.
Yeah, Kema's my actual
What's
name.
your surname?
Sakozwi.
Sekozvi. That
Yes.
sounds quite sexy. It sounds like some Russian spy. Kema
like that.
Sekozvi, Vladivostok. I will get you. I'll take you to whatever, Vladivostok or whatever it is. So, and K, where did you pick that from?
I'll tell you the story how it happened. Because
K is a girl's first name.
yes, it is, but it's also a boy's name as well. But the way it happened is
Like Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah,
Leslie
yeah.
with a Y is a girl's name.
Yeah,
And I is a boy's name.
Yeah. Because the way it came about is when I was younger, you know when you're with your friends and you start a rap and you try to have cool names. and things like that.
Yeah.
So my first name at first was Big K.
Big K.
yes.
Well,
So,
were your classmates pygmies?
no, the
You're
word.
not particularly
You know,
tall.
I know
You're-
that's what I'm
You're
saying.
as bad as me. For an African, you're quite short. man.
Yes, I know. So as I was maturing more, I found that people. It was actually my uncle who made me think. Where he came, he was like, "You're big," because I hadn't seen him in a few years. You
So
know.
uncle is also here.
No, he's in Harrogate.
Okay, but in the UK.
Yeah, UK. So I'd met him, and then he says, "Oh, I haven't seen you so many years." He's like, "I was expecting you to be either really fat or like 6 foot tall." And
You're a little black shrimp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're an insult to my tribe.
Yeah.
Is he tall and
Yeah,
big and fat?
he's really tall. So,
Yeah, uncle.
so he was expecting me to be really tall. So that made me think. And as I was maturing, I thought, I can't be like coming up to my 20s, be calling myself Big K, because that's just gonna confuse people.
I also sound like Big Mac.
Yeah.
And already Kema. Imagine an Indian Kema put inside Big Mac. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then what happened is then I changed. I took away the big and I was just K. But then what I found with that is when I was doing shows and things like that, if they never met me personally,
they think it's a white blonde girl.
Yes. No, I'm being serious. Maybe not the blogger, but the
I've got a Pakistani friend who's got a lovely beard. He looks like a Muslim Pakistani chap. He's quite bald.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't phone and say, I'm feeling bad. You say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
What you mean is, please listen to me.
That's very true.
So, you're not from the UK. You're black in color. So,
Yes.
So where are you from?
I'm from a country called Zambia.
I know Zambia.
Yeah, that's where I was born.
My first father-in-law worked there in mathematics.
Oh, really? Wow.
And it's one of the sweetest countries in Africa.
Thank you very much.
Is that not true?
Yes, it is very true.
There's no kidding going on.
Nothing whatsoever.
There's no Idi Amin there.
Yeah, very quiet country.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Kenneth Kaunda, was he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So Kenneth Kaunda was I think the president when my father-in-law Punnipat Jha was there, and I heard only positive things.
Yeah,
no negativity, no badness, no nothing. Just quiet, gentle, getting on in life.
Yeah.
Is that why you are also a cool guy?
It possibly is,
I think we pick up the vibes of where we come from, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Okay, so how did you land here?
What happened is I came to this country when I was 2 years old. So,
So you've been 20 years here?
Yeah, I've been here for 20 years now, which is a very, very, very long time. And
so your accent is just British?
Yeah, basically just British.
Yeah. Okay.
It's quite a funny story because
tell us.
Because when I speak to other Zambians, because in my house we only speak English as well.
Yes.
So I've met other Zambians and they speak.
And they speak with
and then I'm like, sorry,
give us a Zambian accent. How does it sound?
I don't know. I can't give you the accent. That's what I mean. So
I can try to be like I'm from Delhi. It is not difficult. Me speaking no English. Okay, no. But then you're quite black, and your accent is quite white.
Yes.
And your music is international.
Yes.
So what do you make of these people hanging on? Like, do you have any brothers and sisters who dress Zambian, talk Zambian, eat Zambian, breathe Zambian, sneeze Zambian?
To be honest, no, because I've got one brother who's he's probably more British than me, to be honest. He's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
He's got like the
proper.
Yeah, he's like
speaks like who's that black guy who reads the news? What's his name? I've forgotten. He always smiles when he says the Queen. The black man who's a newsreader. Very posh, extremely posh, Okay. So tell us, your parents came here.
Yes.
Your grandparents are still in Zambia.
Yes.
So are they alive?
My grandma's actually passed away, but my granddad's still alive.
So have you been to Zambia?
No, I actually haven't.
You've never seen Zambia, apart from the age of 2?
Age of 2, that's it, to be honest. I've seen photos, and that's probably about it.
So your parents came for work, I take it?
My dad actually came here to become a student. And he finished university with a PhD.
In what?
In architect. He's actually an
architect.
And then,
where, in Newcastle?
Yeah, in Newcastle.
Bit of a tash, but a massive beard. So when he's an English poet.
All right, yeah.
I mean, he's born in Pakistan, but he's an English poet. So when he goes to the poetry places, they send him to the kitchen. They think he's the caterer. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, you see.
So when you walk in and they expect a dumb blonde, they're going to kiss and they see you.
I know. So I had so much trouble with that. And then as well with my music being online, when you typed in K, you can imagine the amount of things what came up with the name K, because it's such a common sort of name. And then I was doing a show and one of the promoters I was actually with, he was like, it would be better if you called your first name. But I didn't really want to lose the K because it's like
because you have had it for a long time. Yeah.
And like
big or small, I'm K.
Yeah. And then if I just had Kema, like it didn't have a nice twist. Like for example, you have artists like Tiny Temper or Dizzy Rascal. Like
the 2 parts match. Yeah. They have to be in rhythm.
Yeah, in rhythm. So like Kema K. Yeah. So I like that.
Kema K. Kema K. It sounds like a slogan,
Yeah. So then I was like, let's stick with that Kema K. And then
Sounds alright, right?
yeah, thanks. And then so now when you type my name in anywhere, like
So
there's
you
no
type
other,
Kema K, K-E-M-A-K-A-Y.
yes, and
Kema
it comes
K.
up, and yeah, you
Kema
type it in
K.
Google, my
Isaac
name.
Zumba,
Yeah.
Zumba, Kema K. Okay, let's listen to your track number 2.
I can't give you much, no, 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 no. I can't promise you the world, no, 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 no. But I do what I can to make you smile. I swear one day I'll get us out, because I'm up every morning in the studio recording, trying to cut.
Yeah, you were saying that you enjoy an interview like this.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's what? Spontaneous.
Yes, it's uplifting. It's
Yeah,
uplifting.
but we are chatting like two friends, you know.
And that's what I like. I
Yeah,
really like.
yeah. So have you been to other interviews?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few. I've actually been in this room before. The interview it was
Don't give the name of the interviewer
okay.
by saying I'm uplifting, then the other one wasn't, so we shall not mention. Okay. It was Arvi Narang, was it?
Yeah, no, I like that guy. That guy's a great guy. He
Yeah.
supported me for years.
Yeah, he's
you know.
he's one of the rare musicians who doesn't compete with others, he supports.
Yeah, I know.
Arvi, I know, I have a lot of time for Arvi. I've known him as a young kid, and I was his doctor at one time as well. So I know
He's a
him.
great guy. He's a great guy.
Okay, so we were not coming to music yet. You were 2 years old and you came to which city first?
Newcastle, I've been.
Straight away. So
straight
this is where
Newcastle.
Dad was doing architecture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sick of the same old radio sound? Then you need vibrant radio. Spice up your life. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
Started as a dream, but I didn't think I'd get to the point where they say that I'm inspiring. I got people who look up to me, so I never break. Some try to stop me, but they're never on my face. So I keep going. Every obstacle I take, man, I run through these walls. There ain't nothing I can break. So trust me when I say I'm doing okay. Everything that I go through makes me the man I am today. I see jealousy. Don't wanna see the end of me, but I smile in the face and say I'm so.
Very good afternoon to you. It's Dr. Anand in his English mode. आज मैं हिंदी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, उर्दू नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, पंजाबी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, जॉर्डी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I've got Kema K in the studio. Kema, hi, welcome.
How you doing?
Hi, who's made this record?
I made this record. I wrote.
It's your voice.
Yeah, that is my voice right
So
there.
who wrote the words?
Yeah, I wrote the song.
So what are the words of the song?
The words of the song is it's all about being a positive vibe. You know, everything's all right.
Everything's okay. Just
yeah.
accept everything.
Yeah,
It's a bit like a Buddhist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's okay. Don't try to change it.
Yeah, don't
you're not
try to
God.
change
You're
it.
just a little ant on a lump of mud called Earth.
Yeah, that's it.
We all are full of ego, isn't it? I'll sort this out. No, there's no I.
Mm-hmm.
And in the English language, the only capital in the pronouns is I.
Mm-hmm.
We is small, you is small, he is small, she is small, it is small, but I.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, do you want to sing along?
Yeah, let's see.
Go on.
You turn the music a bit up. Yeah. Living life with no regrets. If you're afraid to chase your dream, me, I'll take the first step. If you really want to know what it's like to be me, or the reason that I'm moving, cause I'm filled with self-belief.
Wow.
You will never see me down, even get right back up, cause it's music that I breathe. So just watch as I make history, and all I wanna know is who's with me. And this
It's
is
very important who we are with, isn't it?
I said.
Because don't we attract the people we need? If we need to feel bad, we attract people who make us feel bad.
Yep.
If we need to feel good, we attract that, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
very
it's very
true.
subconscious, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 22 now.
22. Old enough to realize that. There'll be friends who every time they phone, your heart goes, ugh. And then there are people who phone, hey, how are you? And they perk you up.
Yeah.
And then when you're in trouble, certain people you phone.
That's a local in Newcastle.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I'd love to interview him.
He's
Yeah,
a
tell
great
him.
guy.
Seriously.
Yeah, we'll
we'll video all this and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've got the rottenest ADSL. I've moved house recently. So I've got the horriblest ADSL. It goes up at 174 kilobytes per second instead of megabytes that I used to have. Anyway, but somehow I'll shrink the file and put it up.
great.
So your dad, your uncle, your granddad in Zambia, he can all see it on YouTube.
Yeah, oh, great. That's
Okay,
great. That's good.
they'll say, "Oh, that is my grandson. He's doing very well." I'm copying a Punjabi accent. Okay. So and then dad went back and married, or did he marry here?
What happened is my mum came over as well, but due to personal issues, they split up, and my mum went back.
So mom's back in Zambia.
But what happened is we were meant to go back, but then my mum passed away when I was 14.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
sorry.
your dad is your mom and dad.
Yeah.
So have you got a good relationship with him?
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with them. We're like
And your
best
brother?
of friends. With my brother, we don't speak as much because he's out the house, but we speak every
So he's
now and then.
moved out, but in Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Okay. My boys have come back to live with me recently because I lost my mother.
Oh, sorry. Bro.
So I was, she was 89 and a half and she didn't want to live.
Yeah.
So she passed away, and then my elder son came to stay with me, in the house I meant, while I was in India taking her ashes for immersion in the Ganges. And then I said, "Why the hell do you want to go? Stay." And then the other son who's in Holland, I've got two sons now, and they're with me. So it's good fun. So you're with dad?
Yeah, with dad. Just me and dad.
Okay. Does that help you?
Yes, because I think it's made us closer because it's just the two of us. Sometimes we have our arguments, and
You're like two mates.
Yeah. We're just.
What are the main things you argue about?
It's silly things.
Stupid. Where we
like
put
stuff like did you eat my dinner? Or just silly
It
things.
sounds like the Three Bears.
Yeah.
I'll just pull your mic a little up.
Thank you.
Yeah. So have you eat? So you cook and he eats it up.
Yeah. Like
What a bad guy your dad is. What's his name?
Hector.
Hector.
Yeah.
I'll heckle you for eating your son's dinner. Shame. Do you ever eat his dinner?
Oh yeah, of course. I have to get him back. It's like the way it works. If you do that to me, I'm gonna do it back.
So he gets it back. It's called karma.
Yeah, that's what karma. That's
Karma. And K is your surname.
It's just actually my rap name. It's a funny.
Your rap name.
It's a funny way how it came
But
about.
Kema, and you said everyone calls you Kema.
Yeah.
Is it particularly the Indians and Pakistanis who eat meat, mince meat? Kema is mince meat.
I actually know that. I've got a lot of Pakistani and Bengali friends as well, and they call me Kema for fun because when I've been in school, because the way it's actually spelt. Like say if
but you write Kema, K-E-M-A.
Yeah,
you don't write K-W-E-M-A.
I know. That's my.
Why the hell do you make Kema out of you?
I know. That's
I'll
my
make mince meat
argument.
out of you.
That's my